To Klamath Falls. First pitch outside for ball one from Jacob Trujillo. Trujillo getting his 7th start on the year. 12th appearance overall, 4-2 record. Big leg kick for the lefty. Strike one called. 1-1 the count on Vinny Margiotta. Margiotta in the leadoff spot. Went 1 for 4 yesterday. Had an RBI on a walk with the bases loaded. He chases way outside. Strike two. A 1-2 count on the leadoff hitter for the Storm. Playing in their 37th game on the year. A 19-17 record overall. Currently in 3rd place in the GSCBL. A couple teams hot on their heels, however. The 1-2 pitch from Trujillo. Fastball high off the outside edge. 2-2 the count. In the top of the first. A clear day here in Klamath Falls. Wind blowing right in towards home plate from center field. Trujillo shakes off the sign from Carswell. Begins his motion. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball up. 3-2 the count. Behind Margiotta, it's Reed Oster and Todd Fitzhugh. Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh. It's a full count, however, for the leadoff man, Margiotta, playing at second base today. Trujillo drops, turn, kicks, and fires. Fastball just a bit high. It's a leadoff walk as Margiotta was out of the box quickly, thinking he had a for sure ball 4. And Dave Miller, our home plate umpire tonight, agrees with him. He's on board in his first plate appearance. That'll bring up number 6, Reed Oster. Oster went 1 for 4 with a run and an RBI. As this one is high into the air into left field. Long run for Brown. Brown tracks it down using his speed in left field to get to that one. And he flies out to the opposite field. The lefty hitting it into left. Marzel Brown, the left fielder tonight. Steve Sordahl in center field. Isaiah Engman in right field. Cam Walker playing first base. Nick Hermes at second. Alex Alvarado is short. Colin Sinkovich at third as Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh, center fielder. First pitch strike from Jacob Trujillo. Trujillo is now thrown 40 1/3 innings, giving up 39 hits, 36 runs, 24 of which are earned, 34 walks to 30 strikeouts. The 0-1 fastball up. 1-1 the count. 1 out and 1 on. Vinny Margiotta at first base. Margiotta, a team high 12 swiped bags, has been caught 4 times. He's got his lead. Big grounder foul on the first base side as Walker will wait on it and play it in foul territory. Strike 2. 1-2 count for the 3-hole hitting Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh hitting .356 on the year. This is his now 108th plate appearance. So 1-2 count, 1 out. Margiotta at first. Double play depth up the middle and a soft throw over to first base from the lefty Trujillo to Walker just to keep Margiotta close to the bag. The Gems prevailed last night 7-5 despite a late push from South Bay. 3 runs in the top of the 9th. The pitch to the plate, up into the air, and that will drop in front of Engman in right field. A soft line drive with 2 strikes has Todd Fitzhugh aboard, and 2 runners on, 1 out for the cleanup hitter. Connor Fabian with Todd Fitzhugh at first base. Margiotta at second base. Fabian went 1 for 4. He led off that 3-run top of the 9th by singling right up the middle in an 0-2 count against Ben Tennell. Trujillo looks back at second base. And now a throw to shortstop and not back in time as Margiotta had broken towards third base. Trujillo had to wait for Alvarado to sneak back behind Margiotta. They might have had him on the pickoff, but not quick enough. Margiotta back in safely. Fabian hitting from the left side. The first pitch called strike 1 in the lefty-lefty matchup. Fabian hitting .324 on the year, has 21 RBIs. Runner in scoring position, the 0-1. Ripped foul down the first base side. Sounds like he broke his bat and he's heading back towards the dugout. and on the hands of the left-handed hitting Fabian, and he snapped his bat. He's going over to the dugout. The Storm in their white pants, blue tops, same uniforms as yesterday. The Gems in their white pants, black tops, black caps, Gems across the front. Number on the lower left side. Gems in white along with the numbers. And a new bat coming out for Fabian. It's an 0-2 count after a called strike and that broken bat. Foul ball. He takes a deep breath and double taps home plate as he steps back in. He works from the back end of the left-handed batter's box. Trujillo comes set, working from the first base side. The 0-2 pitch up into the air and out of play behind home plate. Carswell gives chase, but it works its way onto the top of the overhang. Remains an 0-2 count. Breeze whipping in from center field. Otherwise, a clear blue sky evening here in Klamath Falls. The shade working its way up towards left side of the infield dirt. It's about halfway across the mound. Trujillo's just his knees and below in shade. The rest of him in sunlight. So still a light to dark transfer for hitters, but most of the travel of that pitch is in the shade. The 0-2, fastball high and inside. 1-2 the count. A 1-2 count, 1 out, 2 runners on. Margiotta leadoff walk, and Todd Fitzhugh the single into right field. The 1-2 pitch to Fabian. Slow roller to second base, a chance to turn two. Hermes to second, fires to first base in time as Alvarado guns it over to Cam Walker to complete the 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. The Storm have two aboard. Connor Fabian hits into the 4-6-3 double play. They leave one on. No runs on, one hit, no errors for the Storm as we go to the bottom half of the first. It'll be Steve Sordahl, Wes Carswell, and Cam Walker due up.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family-owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you. The Klamath Falls Gems would like to send their thanks to Russ, Spires & Pooley, LLP, Avista, Herald and News, and Henry's Roofing and Supply for sponsoring the 2016 season. Thank you so much. Taco Bell is proud to support the Klamath Falls Gems. Don't forget to take advantage of the free taco coupon on the back of your Klamath Falls Gems ticket stub. Everyone who comes out to a Klamath Falls Gems game this year can receive a free taco at one of Taco Bell's 2 locations in Klamath Falls. Once again, we'd like to thank Taco Bell for all their support of the Klamath Falls Gems.
Steve Sordahl will lead things off for the Gems. He'll be facing up against Connor Taylor, getting his 6th start on the year, 9th appearance overall. 39 and a third innings pitched, 44 hits given up, 25 runs, 23 of which are earned, 7 walks to 14 strikeouts, but has a 4-0 record on the year. Fastball just missing on the outside edge for ball 1. Taylor a 5.26 ERA on the year. And once again trying to work that outside corner, not getting the call, missing just a bit. 2-0 the count to Sordahl. Sordahl went 1 for 3 yesterday, 2 runs scored, 2 walks, and a stolen base. The 2-0 pitch slowly rolled over the shortstop. Gelfman waits on it, shuffles 1 foot over to first base, fires to Fabian in time. for out number 1. Taylor, the lefty, keeping the ball low in the zone, getting a lot of ground balls. Should explain his low walks and low strikeouts. He lets the ball get put into play. Lets his defense do the work for him. He has, however, given up the most home runs on the team with 6. So if you miss that low spot just a little bit up, a guy like Wes Carswell can make you pay. Leading the team in home runs with 6. He'll try and push bunt. He's bunted up the first base side. And nobody's there to cover the bag. Wes Carswell bunt for a hit. Fabian came in to play it. Margiotta was too far over to get there in time. And Taylor wasn't covering the bag either. He went for the ball as well. And so now Wes Carswell is aboard. The first hit of the day, a bunt for Wes. He went 2 for 5 yesterday with a home run and a stolen base. I'll bring up Cam Walker, who had a big day yesterday. 3 for 4, ground rule double, a traditional double, 2 RBIs, and a run scored in the win. First pitch, fastball cuts across the plate, but low. 1-0 the count. Walker, the big 6'6" sophomore. Throw goes over to first base. Carswell in standing up. Fabian covering the bag. He's at first base. Vinny Margiotta at second base. Zane Gelfman at shortstop. Reed Oster at third base. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball runs low and away. 2-0 the count to Cam Walker. The lefty-lefty matchup. Walker hitting .309 on the year. Called strike on Walker. Moves it to a 2-1 count. 1 out in the bottom of the first. A scoreless game. Connor Fabian hit into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play as Carswell is once again sent over to the bag on a throw from Taylor. Wind continues to blow here. Walker watches the pitch and rips it into right center field. That'll drop in front of Todd Fitzhugh. He'll play it on one hop. Carswell takes a big turn, but is sent back by a strong throw in from Todd Fitzhugh. Just a single for Walker, but a ripped ball into the gap in right center field. Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh showing off his wheels to get there to cut it off. 2 runners aboard, 1 out for the cleanup hitter, Nick Hermes, coming to the plate. Playing second base today, went 1 for 4, a ground rule double and an RBI yesterday. And he'll hit from the right side against the lefty Taylor, is a switch hitter. Tall Black Sox for Nick as he works from the back end of the box. The first pitch from Taylor, fastball inside. About chest high, 1-0 the count, 1 out. It's double play depth up the middle for the Storm, hoping for a similar fate that was dealt to them at the plate, hitting into a 4-6-3 double play. They'll take it 6-4-3, 3-6-3. The 1-0 up and out of play on the first base side. Strike 1, a 1-6-3 even. They'll take a whole bunch of different ways to get out of this inning. The Gems trying to strike first. They went ahead 1-0 in the bottom of the first in last night's game. Ended up putting up 5 runs before the Storm got on the board in the top of the 5th. Look back from Taylor to second base, goes to the plate. A drive up the middle and into center field. And Carswell will be held up at third base. Another strong throw in from Todd Fitzhugh in center field will load the bases. Nick Hermes sends a hard hit grounder right back up the middle. And everybody is safe. Carswell, who bunt for a hit at third base. Walker ripped a line drive single into right center field. Now Hermes, a hard hit grounder right up the middle to load the bases for Colin Sinkovich. That will bring Connor Fabian in on the grass. Reed Oster 1 step off the grass at third base. Carswell with a slight lead. Walker slight lead as well. First pitch swinging high, fly ball into left field. Anthony Lim will have to run in on it, and he'll grab it. Carswell will go to the plate, and the throw will not be in time. Not even close. Carswell easily tags up, and that was a shallow hit ball as well. Anthony Lim just didn't get anything on that throw. It's a 1-0 lead for the Gems after the sacrifice fly from Colin Sinkovich. 2 outs. Runners at first and second for Alex Alvarado. Hitting in the 6th spot tonight. Nelson Santiago, Isaiah Engman, and Marzell Brown round out the rest of the batting order for the Gems. Alvarado hitting .405 on the year after going 2 for 5 last night. 2 runs scored and 2 stolen bases. First pitch ball from the lefty Taylor. A 1-0 lead for the Gems in the bottom of the first. 1 run on 3 hits. The 1-0 swung on and missed. And a snap throw over to first base, sliding back in safely is Nick Hermes. Fabian coming over to cover the bag after he had initially been off, as Marley sent a shot over to the first base side. Was in perfect position on that pitch outside. Cocked and ready to fire. And he goes. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. High pitch. Going around. Coming up empty is Alvarado. It's now a 1-2 count. Trying to limit the damage is Connor Taylor. It's a 1-0 lead after a bases loaded sacrifice fly from Colin Sinkovich. And a short-armed throw from Anthony Lim. The pitch swung on and missed. Down goes Alex Alvarado. He strands 2, the first strikeout of the game. Gets the Storm back to the plate, down by 1. A golden opportunity for Klamath Falls. They only come across with 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left aboard. As we go to the second, it'll be Zane Gelfman, Chase Henley, and Latrell Harris due up.
Klamath Falls Baseball is brought to you with help from Rogue Credit Union. Rogue Credit Union is committed to actively engaging in the communities we serve. Rogue Credit Union, banking and finance since 1956. Living local, it's a Rogue thing. And Quail Park of Klamath Falls, a senior lifestyle community in Klamath Falls. Their experienced and caring team of healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones like they would treat their own families. Thank you for supporting the Klamath Falls Gems.
Fans, if you own a business and would like your brand to be seen at Kiger Field, give the Gems a call at 541-883-4367 and tell them you would like to discuss the most unique and cost-effective marketing opportunity in the area. Call the Gems at 541-883-GEMS. Zane Gelfman will lead things off for the Storm, trailing the Gems 1-0 after 1, just like in yesterday's contest. I'm Nick Winstead, coming to you live from Kiger Stadium. First pitch swung on, and Alvarado will cut it off in the hole. Long throw to first base in time. 1 pitch, 1 out. Nice play up the middle by Alvarado for out number 1. That'll bring up Chase Henley, the designated hitter. We saw him on the mound and in the field yesterday. Came in replacement of R.J. Hansen after 4 innings. First pitch gets away from Trujillo. Ball 1. 1-0 count. 1 out into 1-0 game. The Gems on top of the visiting Storm. Game 2 of the 6-game series. Leg kick, fastball low, called strike 1, catching the black on the outside half against the right-handed hitting Chase Henley. Henley, the 6'2", 210-pound freshman from Amherst College, calls Pleasanton, California home as he fouls one up and over the grandstands on the first base side. Strike 2. 1-2 count. Now the sun just barely catching the cap of Trujillo. Jacob Trujillo, 5'9". Fastball low and inside. 2-2 the count as Henley gets out of the way of that one. Trujillo works from the first base side of the rubber. Black leather glove up in front of his face. Sets Begins his motion. The 2-2 pitch fouled on the third base side. Head coach Ralph Maldonado dropping down full extension to get out of the way of that one. He kissing the dirt over there on the third base side. He's okay though. Might have been more for effect than anything else, just to get the laugh. Have his guys feeling loose. It's a 2-2 pitch. Fastball up, 3-2 the count. Trying to get Chase Henley to chase. It's now a full count. The payoff pitch from Trujillo. High pop-up into shallow left center field. And tracking it down is Alex Alvarado for out number 2. Got it underneath that one. And it's out number 2. In the last full count Trujillo had, he ended up walking Vinny Margiotti. Puts this one more in the zone and gets out number 2. That'll bring up Latrell Harris, the right fielder for the Storm. First pitch strike. The fastball. Harris came in defensively in the 7th and struck out twice last night. Both swinging, both in full counts. As this one is nubbed up the first baseline, Trujillo will grab it. And underhand to Cam Walker for out number 3. Nice play made by Trujillo as he goes 1, 2, 3 through the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base. We go to the bottom half of the second. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for Klamath Falls. Nelson Santiago, Isaiah Engman, and Marzell Brown. Hey fans, how would you like to book a company or a family group outing at Kiger Stadium? It is a fun way to get everyone together, socialize, and have a great time. Contact the Gems at 541-883-4367 to book your group or to get more information. Get your group booked now by calling 541-883-GEMS.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you.
Nelson Santiago stepping into the box. It's a 1-0 lead for the Gems after 1.5 innings. First pitch swung on a high pop-up, mile high, and Zane Gelfman will reach out and make the play in shallow center field. Hit so high that Anthony Lim, Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh, Vinny Margiotta, and Zane Gelfman all had plenty of time to get into position for that one. And it's out number 1. It'll bring up Isaiah Engman, the right fielder for the Gems. Went 1 for 4 last night. Got aboard twice as he reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat. Ended up scoring a run on a wild pitch. First pitch strike from the lefty Connor Taylor. He sets just above the belt. Low leg kick, fires, and a high driven ball into right field. And making the play in the gap is Latrell Harris, showing off his wheels as Isaiah Engman knows a thing or two about tracking one down in right field. Out number 2. And he gets robbed of that one by his counterpart in right field as he barreled that one up well, but a nice play made by Harris. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter Marzell Brown, who did not play in the game yesterday. Marzell hitting 161 on the year. First pitch swung on, a soft ground ball to Fabian at first base. Covering the bag in time is Connor Taylor for out number 3. So 1, 2, 3 innings put up by both teams in the second. A much faster affair for Connor Taylor. Only 4 pitches for the whole inning. Very quick as Nelson Santiago goes down on first pitch. Engman, 2 pitches, and Brown, 1 pitch. It's a 1-0 lead for the Klamath Falls Gems after 2 innings of play. We go to the third. Due up for the Storm, it'll be Jason Marley, Anthony Lim, and rolling over to the top of the order, it's Vinny Margiotta.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family-owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you. The Klamath Falls Gems would like to send their thanks to Russ, Spires and Pooley, LLP, Avista, Herald and News, and Henry's Roofing and Supply for sponsoring the 2016 season. Thank you so much. Taco Bell is proud to support the Klamath Falls Gems. Don't forget to take advantage of the free taco coupon on the back of your Klamath Falls Gems ticket stub. Everyone who comes out to a Klamath Falls Gems game this year can receive a free taco at one of Taco Bell's 2 locations in Klamath Falls. Once again, we'd like to thank Taco Bell for all their support of the Klamath Falls Gems.
A 1-0 lead for the Gems after an extremely quick second inning. It will be Jason Marley coming to the plate and leading off the third. First pitch swung on, fouled back, strike 1. Marley doing the catching just like yesterday. He went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs as he had a sacrifice fly in the 5th to get the Storm on the board. High pop-up into right field. Tracking in on it is Engman. Takes a quick turn to his right at the last second and tracks it down for out number 1. Getting very much underneath that was Marley. That'll bring up number 4, Anthony Lim. Lim went 4 for 4 with an RBI yesterday. He was a very good example of having a second leadoff hitter in the 9-hole. First pitch from Trujillo. Big chopper up the middle. Hermes gets it. Hermes fires over to first base in time. Out number 2. And another ball that sounded like it might have broken the bat of Lim as it took a big crack off the handle. And Lim is retired for the first time in the series. It will go back to the top of the order with Vinny Margiotta. Margiotta drew a full count walk to start off the game. Hitting from the right side, a slightly open stance, a dual colored bat. First pitch swung on and a line drive into center field on the first pitch he sees. That'll bring up Reed Oster. He flew out. First pitch he saw went to the opposite field, but it hung up long enough for Marzell Brown to be able to get there. Slow breeze pushing the American flag out towards left field as it had been whipping towards home plate before. Fastball called strike 1 in the lefty-lefty matchup. Margiotta with his lead out at first base, a team high 12 stolen bases. The Storm have stolen 64 on the year, but have been caught 32 times. The 0-1 is upstairs, 1-1 the count. 50% success rate. In most other industries, 50% not okay in baseball. You're a Hall of Famer in most aspects. Throw goes way outside. As Carswell has to make a nice play, leaning over to his right, almost falling down behind the right-handed batter's box after coming up out of the squat to grab that one. It's a 2-1 count, 2 outs in the top of the third. A 1-0 lead for the Gems over the Storm. Margiotta has his lead at first. Walker covering the bag. Trujillo looks out at him, turns and goes to the plate. And called strike 2. Catching the black on the outside part of the plate is Trujillo. A nice job by Wes Carswell to leave that glove up and make sure he gets the call from Dave Miller, our home plate umpire. Mike Keppel out in the field. They flip-flopped from last night. The 2-2 pitch up in the air. Foul on the third base side as it makes its way over into the bullpen area for the Storm. Behind the third base pavilion. A nice sunny day here in Klamath Falls, giving way to a slightly cool night. That breeze keeping things from getting too hot. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him with the off speed. Reed Oster flails his bat but comes up well empty. Strikeout number 1 for Trujillo is out number 3 in the third. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base for the Storm. As we go to the bottom half of the third, it'll be the top third of the order for Klamath Falls with Steve Sordahl, Wes Carswell, and Cam Walker due up.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you. The Klamath Falls Gems would like to send their thanks to Russ, Spires and Pooley, LLP, Avista, Herald and News, and Henry's Roofing and Supply for sponsoring the 2016 season. Thank you so much. Taco Bell is proud to support the Klamath Falls Gems. Don't forget to take advantage of the free taco coupon on the back of your Klamath Falls Gems ticket stub. Everyone who comes out to a Klamath Falls Gems game this year can receive a free taco at one of Taco Bell's 2 locations in Klamath Falls. Once again, we'd like to thank Taco Bell for all their support of the Klamath Falls Gems.
Steve Sordahl coming to bat for the second time this evening, leading off the bottom of the 30, grounded out to Zane Gelfman in a 2-0 count. As Wes Carswell would bunt for a hit and come around to score in the bottom of the first, but some fast innings being put up by both pitchers. First pitch ball well outside on Sordahl. The lefty fires in and a shot up the middle. Vargiota slides, makes the play and a high throw, but reeled in by Connor Fabian. Excellent defense from Vinny Margiotti. Slides, backhands, gets up quickly to fire. The throw is a little upstairs, but with a 6'3" first baseman, you've got a margin for error, and it's out number 1. Sordahl now 0 for 2 today by a couple of nice plays made by the middle infielders for the Storm. It'll bring up Wes Carswell. As I mentioned, Carswell bunt for hit, a push bunt up the first base line. Connor Fabian come to cover it, and Vinny Margiotta wasn't there as Connor Taylor also went to cover it on the first base side. Nobody covering the bag. First pitch missing upstairs and off the outside edge. It's a 1-0 count from the lefty Taylor. Taylor sets at the bell. Short leg kick. And this one will be fouled off. Kind of a 3/4 arm slot for Taylor. Not coming right over the top, but not sidearm. Somewhere in between. And by no means submarine either. The 1-1. Fastball inside. 2-1 the count for Carswell. Carswell hit his 6th home run of the year last night. Now leads the team. Taylor's given up 6 home runs. It's a 2-1 count. A high drive into center field, but very much in the park. Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh puts up both of his arms, watches into his glove for out number 2. As Carswell misses that one, and that's the benefit of being a pitcher like Connor Taylor. He lets the ball get into play, lets his defense doing the work for him. Just 14 strikeouts on the year, but 7 walks. Pounds the zone, puts the ball in play, and lets his defense do the work. Cam Walker up at the plate. First pitch strike dropped in. 0-1 the count. Walker ripped a line drive into right center field, cut off in the gap as he checks his swing on a pitch low and away. 1-1 the count, 2 outs in the bottom of the third. A 1-0 lead for the Gems. The lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch missing way outside. Looks like a slider that got away from Taylor. Completely misses the glove of Marley. He just lets it run to the backstop with nobody aboard. Not going to overexert on that one. It was a well outside. Taylor sets at the belt. The 2-1. Swung on and missed. And swinging himself right out of his elbow guard is Cam Walker. 2-2 the count. Took a huge rip at that pitch up. Not a guy who pumps it into the zone is Connor Taylor, but as I mentioned, he very accurate thus far. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, dropping down to one knee. He can't slow down his bat enough. And that's strikeout number 2. And both of Connor Taylor's strikeouts have been to end innings. It's a 1-0 lead for the Gems after 3 innings of play. As we go to the 4th, it'll be Todd Fitzhugh, Connor Fabian, and Gelfman due up.
Klamath Falls Baseball is brought to you with help from Rogue Credit Union. Rogue Credit Union is committed to actively engaging in the communities we serve. Rogue Credit Union, banking and finance since 1956. Living local, it's a Rogue thing. And Quail Park of Klamath Falls, a senior lifestyle community in Klamath Falls, their experienced and caring team of healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones like they would treat their own families. Thank you for supporting the Klamath Falls Gems.
Fans, if you own a business and would like your brand to be seen at Kiger Field, give the Gems a call at 541-883-4367 and tell them you would like to discuss the most unique and cost-effective marketing opportunity in the area. Call the Gems at 541-883-GEMS. Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh swings and pushes one foul for strike 1 for his second at bat. He lined one into right field his first time up. It was the first out of an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. It's a 1-0 lead for the Gems. We're in the top of the 4th. Slider inside, 1-1 the count. Going for the back foot. Shade has made its way to the infield dirt on the left side. The 1-1 pitch up and in the air, foul on the first base side. A 1-2 count. Cam Walker gave chase of that one, but it'll be a souvenir as some fans from the party deck will go and chase that one down. It's a 1-2 count to lead off. Swung on and missed. Down goes Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh, the second strikeout of the game for Jacob Trujillo. That'll bring up Connor Fabian, who hit into that inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. The lefty-lefty matchup. Trujillo kicks and fires first pitch. Strike 1, the fastball located well on that outside edge. Trujillo has been working those corners for both edges against the right-handed and left-handed batters. The 0-1, a drive up and off the glove of a diving Nick Hermes. He almost got there, and he knows it too. He is none too pleased that he didn't make the play because it was right out of his reach. It's a one-out single for Fabing. We've seen an outstanding effort from Nick Hermes out at second base, always putting it all out there defensively. Double play depth now for the Gems. The runner on first. Zane Gelfman at the plate, 1 out. Fastball high and inside. Ball 1 on Gelfman, who grounded out to Alex Alvarado. First pitch he saw. The 6-3 put out to lead off the top of the second. And throw over to first base after a breaking pitch bounced in. Carswell gets it quickly. Fabing had initially broken towards second base, but quickly retreated. It's a 2-0 count now to Gelfman, the shortstop. Gelfman hitting .376 coming into today. The 2-0 pitch, a high drive into right field. Engman running back at the warning track, squares it up, and will fire to first base. They have a chance to double up Fabing, but he gets back in just in time, as he was at second base by the time Isaiah grabbed that one, and he was deep on the warning track. Doesn't quite have the arm to get it back there in time, but it was a close play at first base nonetheless. Out number 2. That'll bring up Chase Henley, who popped up to Alvarado in a full count in shallow center field. Connor Fabing at first base. 2 outs. First pitch, strike 1. Dropping in. First pitch strike. Trujillo eyeing in towards Carswell, gets the sign, looking out towards first base. Now we'll go to the plate, the 0-1. Up. 1-1 the count. 2 outs in the top of the fourth. A 1-0 game. Gems on top of the Storm. That 1 run coming in the bottom of the first. Checking his swing. Laying off for ball 2 is Chase Henley, as he was able to stop it soon enough. His black, I believe that is a Sam bat, the official bat of the Golden State Collegiate Baseball League. It's a 2-1 count, 2 outs, runner at first. The pitch, called strike 2. Fastball catching the inside part of the plate. Henley had turned away, but it caught the zone. It's a 2-2 count, 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Trujillo sets at the chest, goes to the plate. Slowly rolled over to third base. Sinkovich has it in his glove. He'll go to second base. Hermes covering for out number 3. As Chase Henley hits into the inning-ending fielder's choice. We are going to the bottom of the fourth. It's a 1-0 lead for Klamath Falls. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the Gems. Nick Hermes, Colin Sinkovich, and Alex Alvarado. Hey fans, how would you like to book a company or a family group outing at Kiger Stadium? It is a fun way to get everyone together, socialize, and have a great time. Contact the Gems at 541-883-4367 to book your group or to get more information. Get your group booked now by calling 541-883-GEMS.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center, from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you.
leading off the bottom of the fourth, it'll be Nick Hermes. Hermes 1 for 1 today. Sent a hard hit ground ball up the middle to load the bases. Colin Sinkovich would hit a sacrifice fly to get the Gems on the board, and that's the one run of the game. A 1-0 lead. First pitch fastball up from the lefty Taylor. Ball 1. Taylor sets with slow leg kick. Fastball misses outside. 2-0 the count as he raises up slowly. He doesn't raise it up very far either as he works from the first base side. Glove resting on the front hip, brings the ball into his glove, set to the chest. The 2-0 pitch. Up into the air on the right field line. A long run for Fabian, and Latrell Harris makes the dive. It pops out of his glove. Hermes will take a big turn, but with nobody covering, he'll stroll back to first base. Connor Taylor comes over to cover the bag, but Hermes is in safely. A bloop single for Nick Hermes. Latrell Harris nearly makes a spectacular play, but it pops out of his glove, and it's a leadoff single for Hermes. That'll bring up Sinkovich, who hit that sacrifice fly. Not hit very far into left field. Anthony Lim had a chance to get it in. Carswell tagged up, forcing a strong throw from Lim, and Lim was not able to make one. First pitch to Sinkovich has Hermes going up and out of play on the first base side. Strike one, trying to set up the hit and run. Hermes does not have a stolen base on the year, nor has he been caught stealing. Trying to add a little bit something to his repertoire. The 0-1 is shot right up the middle and into center field. And laced right back up the middle by Sinkovich. And now it's 2 runners on, no outs in the bottom of the fourth for Alex Alvarado, who struck out swinging to end the first as he got fooled on a couple of off-speed pitches. Alvarado leads the team in batting average for all qualifying batters. It's a 1-0 lead for the Gems. Alvarado squares up to bunt, pops it up into the air on the third base side, and falls foul. Poorly executed bunt, but does not result in an out. Connor Fabian was dashing in from first base. Third baseman Oster electing to stay close to the bag, trying to get that lead runner, Nick Hermes. Not a guy with elite speed, good speed, but not the fastest guy on the team, nor is he the slowest. It's an 0-1 count for Alvarado. He's still set up to bunt. He'll push back, and that one will hit Alvarado as that pitch got away from Taylor. And he retrieves a new baseball in front of the mound, and he's not too pleased. He just loaded the bases, and Alex Alvarado was ready to slash and ends up hitting him. Hermes at third base, Sinkovich at second, Alvarado at first, and for the second time in this game, the Gems have the bases loaded. Last time was with 1 out, and they only got 1 run. Now Nelson Santiago at the plate. He popped up. First pitch he saw. Fastball, strike one called. Grabbing the first strike in what is a big at-bat for both teams. Here early on in this game, it's a 1-0 lead. Chance for the Gems to do a lot of damage. The pitch swung on and missed. Way out in front of that is Santiago. He'll take a step out. 0-2 count. Santiago went 1 for 5 yesterday with an RBI and 4 strikeouts. So a guy that Storm want to take advantage of. The 0-2 swung on and missed. A 3-pitch see you later. Down goes Nelson Santiago. 3rd strikeout of the game for Connor Taylor. Now has 17 strikeouts on the year. And assistant coach Gutierrez will miss the mound. He went up towards first base and then had a quick maybe 2-word chat with Taylor and now is back. So I think he was actually going out to right field to talk with Harris, but that constitutes a mound visit as he did go on the mound. See if that comes back to hurt the Storm. 1 out, bases loaded. Isaiah Engman at the plate. Nick Hermes, as Dave Miller asks how many outs there are, the home plate umpire asking up to the press box. It is indicated as 1 out on the scoreboard, but making sure with the official score. First pitch to Engman, high into the air, and that will be out of play, taking a hard thud off the top of the overhang for strike 1. Engman flew out to right field on what was a nice play made in the gap by Latrell Harris, tracking that one down. It's an 0-1 count, 1 out, bases loaded for the Gems, a 1-0 lead. Isaiah Engman hitting over with the bases loaded. He's come up 3 times. He does have an RBI. First pitch swung on after the foul ball will be driven into center field on a line. Todd Fitzhugh will get it. It'll be cut off the throw. Will go to third base and safe at third is Sinkovich. The double tag. Hermes comes in to score. Sinkovich moves to third. Runners on the corners. 2 outs after the sac fly from Engman as he barreled it up, this time to center field. He's had 2 well-hit balls. Now he's got an RBI to show for one of them. And that'll bring up Marzell Brown, who ground out to first base on the first pitch he saw in that 4-pitch second inning for Connor Taylor. It's a 2-0 lead for the Gems. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Brown at the plate, and a throw over to first base has Alvarado back in. Sinkovich takes his lead at third base. Oster off the bag. Fabian covering the bag at first base. Alvarado with his lead. Alvarado goes, and that'll be fouled off the face mask of Marley, as Marley will readjust the hockey-style catcher's mask. Strike 1 on Brown. A 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th for Klamath Falls. They took game 1 last night 7-5 after a 3-run top of the 9th. High drive into left center field gap. Lim working out underneath it. Will jog it down and retrieve it for out number 3. The Gems strand a pair on the base paths, but do bring in a run. It is a 2-0 lead for Klamath Falls. After 4 innings of play, we go to the 5th. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Storm. Latrell Harris, Jason Marley, and Anthony Lim.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center, from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you. The Klamath Falls Gems would like to send their thanks to Russ, Spires and Pooley, LLP, Avista, Herald and News, and Henry's Roofing and Supply for sponsoring the 2016 season. Thank you so much. Taco Bell is proud to support the Klamath Falls Gems. Don't forget to take advantage of the free taco coupon on the back of your Klamath Falls Gems ticket stub. Everyone who comes out to a Klamath Falls Gems game this year can receive a free taco at one of Taco Bell's 2 locations in Klamath Falls. Once again, we'd like to thank Taco Bell for all their support of the Klamath Falls Gems.
Latrell Harris will stay in the game after taking a hard dive in the right field line. He sees first pitch ball from Trujillo. Harris grounded out. His first at bat, a little number on the first base line. Stordahl will rush in on this one and make the play in center field. Out number one. Stordahl get a good jump on that one, using his speed to be able to track that one down with plenty of time. In center field, out number one. In the top of the fifth, a 2-0 lead for the Gems. Jason Marley watches breaking ball drop outside. 1-0 the count as a couple of broken clowns make their way over the top of Kiger. Trujillo, long look in at Carswell, gets the sign he wants. The 1-0 pitch. Drive up the right field line, long run for Angman. And a dive will come up empty. Hermes leaps over Angman, gloves it, and will pump it in and run it in himself. A bloop double down the right field line by Jason Marley. Outstanding effort from Angman as he had to run from essentially right center field all the way to the line and was only about one step off on the dive from making a spectacular play. But it's a one-out double, the first extra base hit of the game. Marley has himself in scoring position for Anthony Lim. Lim grounded out to Hermes for out number two in the third. He went 4 for 4 yesterday, an RBI. First pitch, strike one. No 1-1 count, one out. A 2-0 lead for Klamath Falls over South Bay, the third place South Bay Storm in 19-17 record, trailing top speed at 33-3. 14 games back. Ball one, 1-1 the count. The San Francisco Seagulls in second place with a 25-13 record overall. But right on their heels, in fourth place, the Nevada Bighorns 16-22, and the Atwater Aviators 15-21. Little flare up on the first base side. Walker working over in foul territory. Tries to leap off of the fence to get a little bit higher still. He can't make the play. Strike two. Walker, the 6'6" first baseman and pitcher for the Gems. He also played left field against top speed, that extremely short porch but high wall at Sir Francis Drake High School in San Anselmo, California. It's a 1-2 count. One out, runner in scoring position for the Storm. The pitch, fastball up. Ball two. A 2-2 count for the 9-hole hitting Anthony Lim, the left fielder. Marley just about 3 steps off the bag at second base. Alvarado sneaking in behind him. Trujillo goes to the plate. And that will be strike three. Down goes Anthony Lim. A little bit up, but it's called strike three. He goes down looking. And Lim, after going 4 for 4 yesterday, is now 0 for 2. It's the third strikeout of the game for Anthony Lim. Excuse me, for Jacob Trujillo, rather. Vinny Margiotta coming to the plate for the third time. He is 1 for 1. He drew a walk in his first time up and then ripped a single into center field, the first pitch he saw in the third. He's got Jason Marley at second base. Wes Carswell will jog out to the mound, have a quick conversation with Trujillo. It's been a fast game thus far. Both teams moving quickly. The Gems have had the best opportunities. They've capitalized, but not to the extent that they would like. They've had the bases loaded twice, but only have 2 runs to show for it. Bases loaded in the first and fourth. 1 run coming across both times. But Connor Taylor limiting the damage. Trujillo with a runner in scoring position after bloop double. Jason Marley at second base. Vinny Margiotta. First pitch strike. Working that outside edge. Trujillo really painting the corners against the Storm thus far. Dave Miller, our home plate umpire, being very consistent thus far. The 0-1. Swung on and in the dirt. It'll bounce away from Carswell. Strike two, but advancing is Marley. So he moves to third base. And he's 90 feet from home. And a 2-0 game. And as the Storm saw last night, every run counts. They ended up leaving the bases loaded in the top of the ninth after plating 3 runs and fell 7-5. Trujillo nods agreement with Carswell, but Margiotta steps out. It's an 0-2 count after he was way early on a pitch in the dirt. Swings the bat around, loads behind his right shoulder, waving behind the head. The 0-2. Big chopper to first base, and Walker's got it on one bounce. Steps on the bag for out number 3. Margiotta strands Marley at third base. The Storm still trail 2-0 after 4.5 innings. The Gems going back to work. It'll be the top third of the order with Sordall, Carswell, and Walker due up.
Klamath Falls Baseball is brought to you with help from Rogue Credit Union. Rogue Credit Union is committed to actively engaging in the communities we serve. Rogue Credit Union, banking and finance since 1956. Living local, it's a Rogue thing. And Quail Park of Klamath Falls, a senior lifestyle community in Klamath Falls. Their experienced and caring team of healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones like they would treat their own families. Thank you for supporting the Klamath Falls Gems.
Fans, if you own a business and would like your brand to be seen at Kiger Field, give the Gems a call at 541-883-4367 and tell them you would like to discuss the most unique and cost-effective marketing opportunity in the area. Call the Gems at 541-883-GEMS. It's a 2-0 lead for the Gems as we enter the bottom half of the 5th. I'm Nick Winstead. You're listening to Gems Live. Sordall at the plate, 0 for 2 today. And first pitch swung on a high pop-up into shallow right center field. Latrell Harris and Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh converge. Center fielder Todd Fitzhugh takes over and collects it for out number 1. Sordall now 0 for 3. He has led off in all of his at-bats, and he's now 0 for. Pair of groundouts to the middle infielders, first to Gelfman and then to Margiotta. And it was a nice play made by Margiotta to lead off the third, sliding and backhand stab and up firing quickly to Fabian. And now what will go down as a fly-out, but is really just a long pop-out. Carswell, strike one called as he shows bunt again, and that's got Fabian coming in from first base. Margiotta and him discussing strategies. Last time Margiotta did not get over to second base to cover quickly enough, and now they're figuring out what the strategy will be. Swung on and fouled up and over the top of the grandstands on the first base side. Strike 2 on Wes Carswell. White pants, blue tops for the Storm. White pants, black tops for the Gems. Green batting helmet for Carswell. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Down goes Wes. It is the 4th strikeout of the game for Connor Taylor, a guy who came into this game with only 14 strikeouts on the year. Has 4 tonight, up to 18. And that'll bring up Cam Walker Cam, one of those strikeout victims. Up until this point, he is 1 for 2. Four for 6 on the series. Little swinging bunt up the third baseline, long run for Oster. He'll let it go and make the throw. Not in time. He looked like he was going to let that one go for Taylor, but Taylor let off, and Oster had to make a quick play, but it's a infield hit for Cam Walker, now 2 for 3 today. Odd sequence of events, a miscommunication between South Bay. Walker's aboard for Hermes. Hermes 2 for 2 today. The run scored as he led off the fourth and would come across in that inning. As this one is shot foul, hitting from the right side. Hermes prefers to hit from the left side, says he's got more power from that side, but against a lefty, he's going to hit from the right side every time. Taylor waiting for him out on the mound. He brings the ball into his glove, looking out at first base. The 0-1. Fouled off to the backstop. Just missing that one was Nick Hermes. Hermes hitting .241 with runners on base. The 0-2. Fastball will go outside as Walker had bluffed towards second base, just lunging towards the bag, and that might have been enough to get into the eye of Connor Taylor and have that one miss. It's a 1-2 count. The pitch, and that will hit Nick Hermes in the front knee. As Hermes is aboard for the third time today, 2 runners on, 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. Nick Hermes taking one for the team there. He has now been hit by 8 pitches, which ties him with Alex Alvarado for most on the team. First pitch, fastball way upstairs. 1-0 the count to Colin Sinkovich. Sinkovich 1 for 1. Shot a ground ball right up the middle. In the fourth as a seagull flies across the field. It's a 1-0 count. He also has a sacrifice fly. Swung on and missed way out in front of that one on a high pitch. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 to Sinkovich, a drive into right field. Latrell Harris squares that one up and watches it into his glove for out number 3. The Gems once again strand a pair, but this time don't plate a run in the process. It remains a 2-0 lead for Klamath Falls over South Bay as we are through 5 innings here in the city of Sunshine. We go to the 6th inning, due up for the Storm. It'll be Reed Oster, Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh, and Connor Fabing due up. Hey fans, how would you like to book a company or a family group outing at Kiger Stadium? It is a fun way to get everyone together, socialize, and have a great time. Contact the Gems at 541-883-4367 to book your group or to get more information. Get your group booked now by calling 541-883-GEMS.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you.
It's a 2-0 lead for Klamath Falls in the top of the sixth. First pitch breaking ball missing low off the outside edge against Reed Oster. Oster 0 for 2 in the 2 spot. A fly out and a strikeout. The lefty-lefty matchup. Trujillo kicks and fires. Fastball inside, called strike one. Tall Black Sox for Oster, hitting from the back end of the left-handed batter's box, letting the bat rest on his left shoulder. Now brings it up. Check swing, holds back. Ball 2. A 2-1 count for Oster, the third baseman for the Storm. Trujillo drops, kicks, turns, and fires. Swung on and missed. The off-speed pitch, getting Oster to go around. Strike 2, a 2-2 count. Trujillo shakes off a sign from Carswell. The 2-2 pitch, up and into the net on the third base side. Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh will send that one back over to the home plate umpire Dave Miller. Mike Keppel on the right field grass, right behind home plate. He and Cam Walker exchanging conversation, quick snippets in between pitches. It's a 2-2 count. The pitch on its way. Once again fouled off by Oster, staying alive. The 2-2 pitch from Trujillo will drop in the dirt on the outside edge. It's a full count. The last full count came in the top of the second against Chase Henley. Got him to pop out. Trujillo brings the glove up in front of his face. The payoff pitch. Softly hit off of home plate, foul behind Carswell. Running to the backstop, as it will be a foot race between Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh and one of the bat boys for the Gems. Todd Fitzhugh gets there before the bat boy. Remains a full count as Reed Oster leads off the top of the sixth, a 2-0 lead for the Gems. The 3-2 fouled off yet again. A nice battle being put up by Oster. The Storm have just 4 hits in this game. The Gems with 6, but those 6 hits plating 2 runs, or at least helping get there, as one hit did come in on a sacrifice fly. Both runs, actually, as this one will end up hitting Oster. So he's aboard. And a nice battle eventually won by Reed Oster. Gets him aboard for the first time today. And for the first time since the start of the game, the leadoff man is aboard for the Storm. Vinny Margiotta drew a leadoff walk. And now Reed Oster, a leadoff hit by pitch, but in a full count. A long battle. First pitch fastball up off the outside edge. Ball 1 on Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh. 1 for 2 today with a line drive single and a strikeout. It's a 1-0 count. A 2-0 lead for the Gems over South Bay. From the stretch, bounced in, and another nice pick behind the plate by Carswell. 2-0 the count, maybe showing off some of that experience in the field, being a third baseman and a middle infielder. Need to know how to deal with hops, and Carswell getting some experience here as Alex Alvarado will have a quick conversation with Trujillo behind the mound. Down 2-0 in the count. And a runner at first base, hit by pitch to get aboard. Oster takes his lead. Cam Walker covering the bag. Going to the plate. And just missing. 3-0 the count on the fastball from Trujillo. Trujillo working from the stretch. Ball behind the back. Brings the ball into his glove at the chest now. It's a 3-0 count. The pitch. Fastball called strike 1 as he moved quickly. There, a bit of a quick pitch. The 3-1 fouled off of home plate. Strike two, and now a full count as Trujillo has battled back. Back-to-back full counts for Jacob Trujillo, getting the spot start today. Has gone 5+ innings thus far. It's a 2-0 lead for the Gems. It's a full count against the 3-hole hitting Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh. The payoff pitch. Foul ball down the left field line. Will roll up the fence. And a member of the Storm will have to go and retrieve that one. Looks like it'll be number 30, Clayton O'Dall, the Diablo Valley College sophomore, having to track that one down. Marzell Brown, left fielder, glove up in front of the face as this one is ripped foul down the first base line. Takes a hard hit, pinballs off of the fence, and finds its way into the party deck. Remains a full count. The left side of the infield completely in shade. Nick Hermes. Half of him is in the sun as he's playing in at second base. The 3-2 will be bounced off the leg brace of Wes Carswell, taking a big turn around. Second base is Oster, but he'll stay there as that breaking ball got away from Trujillo as he walks his second batter of the game, but puts his second base runner aboard in the inning. No outs. Cam Walker will go to the mound, have a quick conversation with Trujillo. The 6'6" Cam Walker and the 5'9" Jacob Trujillo. A little bit of disparity in height there. 2 runners on, no outs, a 2-0 lead for the Gems as the cleanup hitter Connor Fabian is at the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. Swung on and missed. Strike one. A get it by me fastball. It does just that. 0-1 the count. The pitch from Trujillo. Once again bounced in, but blocked by Carswell. 1-1 the count. In the top of the 6th, the Gems struck first. In the bottom of the first, plating one. With the bases loaded, only got one, and once again bases loaded in. Top of the 4th, no outs, and only got 1 run across. So Connor Taylor doing a good job of keeping the Gems very much in check despite good opportunities. Now the Storm, the good opportunity themselves. It's a 1-1 count for the cleanup hitter Fabian. 2 runners on. The pitch from Trujillo. And checking his swing after another pitch misses in the dirt outside. 2-1 the count. Coach Alvarado heading down towards the bullpen. Looks like they're going to start getting somebody heated in case this inning continues to go south for Trujillo. The 2-1 pitch. Fouled off of Fabian. Trying to pull that one down the right field line. He ends up fouling it off of himself. It's a 2-2 count. Reed Oster at second base. Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh at first base. Oster hit by pitch. Todd Fitzhugh walked in a full count. Second walk of the game. Third free pass. To 2-2 count. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Down goes Connor Fabian. A huge strikeout for out number 1 for Jacob Trujillo. His 4th strikeout of the game. 3rd swinging. Got Anthony Lim looking in the 2-2 count. I'll bring up Zane Gelfman. Gelfman 0 for 2 today. A ground out and a fly out. He's got 2 runners in scoring position. Double play depth for the Gems. Have already turned 1 today. Trying to get out of this inning with no runs for the Storm. Checking his swing and bluffing a snap throw over to first base as Carswell. Ball 1. And a drive into left field, taking a big bounce, getting to Marzell Brown now. Being sent from second base is Oster. The throw will be cut off on the infield, and it's an RBI single for Zane Gelfman. The RBI leader for the Storm, coming through for South Bay, getting his 27th RBI on the year. Makes it a 2-1 game. The Gems on top, but with one out. 2 runners in scoring position for the Storm. Coach Alex Alvarado will head out to the mound. Reed Oster, who was hit by a pitch to start off the inning, has scored. Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh at second base. Zane Gelfman at first, as the infield will be brought in along with Coach Alvarado. Taking a long time to get from third base to the mound is Colin Sinkovich, as Coach Alvarado will wait to start the talk out on the mound. Doesn't look like they're taking the ball from Trujillo just yet. A 2-1 game, but a great opportunity for the Storm to tie it up. If nothing else, they'll leave Trujillo in the game, try and get him out of this jam. Reed Oster was hit by a pitch to start it off. He comes in to score. Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh walks in a full count. Thereafter, a strikeout of Connor Fabian, and then the line drive into left field to bring in Oster from Zane Gelfman. Chase Henley at the plate, 0 for 2 today. First pitch fastball missing off the outside edge. Dave Miller making Jacob Trujillo earn those strikes on the outside edge. He was working very well with the corners initially, but now with a little bit of wildness in this inning, Miller's going to close up that strike zone. The 1-0 will be sent over to first base, past the dive of Walker into right field. Being sent from second base is Todd Fitzhugh, and Engman drops the ball in right field, and advancing from second to third is Gelfman. Runners on the corners, 1 out and a 2-2 game. Back-to-back RBI singles for the Storm have tied this game at 2 right after the conference on the mound. Jacob Trujillo watches the game get tied by Chase Henley. A bounding ball underneath the glove of Cam Walker. Just couldn't get low enough. Latrell Harris at the plate, fastball high and inside as he leans out of the way. Harris 0 for 2 today. A softly hit ball up the first baseline, covered by Trujillo, throw over to Walker, and then a fly out in center field. As Wes Carswell makes another nice play behind the plate to keep it from going to the backstop. It's a 2-0 count. Zane Gelfman at third base. Chase Henley at first. Both those guys with RBI singles. Henley with his lead. It's double play depth for the Gems. A 2-2 game. And called strike as sliders dropped in on Harris. 2-1 count, 1 out. The Storm have plated 2 runs in the inning, poised to do more. The 2-1. Fouled on the first base side. Two count, 1 out. Zane Gelfman, the RBI leader, put the Storm on the board. A line drive into left. Chase Henley sent a big grounder past first base to tie the game at 2. The 2-2 pitch, fastball up, 3-2 the count for Latrell Harris. Harris, the 5'8", 155-pound junior from the University of Texas Perm Basin, one of the many schools in the University of Texas system. And the 3-2 will be ball 4 to load the bases. It's the third walk of the game for Trujillo, second of the inning. Chase Henley moves to second base. Gelfman stays put at third. Latrell Harris out to first. Wes Carswell will take a slow walk out to the mound, try and buy some time for Coach Alvarado as he heads towards the bullpen. 1 out. in the top of the sixth. The 2-2 game. Bases loaded for Jason Marley. Marley, 1 for 2 today. He had a bloop double in the fifth. Full extension dive from Isaiah Amian right along the right field line. Came up empty. He was stranded at third base, however, as Anthony Lim struck out and Vinny Margiotta ground out to end the inning. First pitch, fastball just missing on the outside edge. 1-0 the count, and as I mentioned, that pitch that might have been there earlier for Trujillo being made to be earned by Dave Miller. The 1-0. Fastball inside. Strike one. And that might have been more off the plate inside than that pitch on the outside was off the plate. But it's a 1-1 count regardless. 1 out. Bases loaded for the Storm in the top of the sixth. A 2-2 game. The pitch. Checking his swing on the high inside fastball. 2-1 the count as Mike Keppel and Nick Hermes talk a little bit as that one was appealed. The 2-1, a drive into right field. Engman on the run. Engman makes the grab. Engman fires in, but tagging up from third base is Zane Gelfman for the third run of the inning. Jason Marley, the sac fly, puts the Storm on top. A 3-2 lead for South Bay. Another nice play made by Isaiah Engman in right field. Got a good read on that one. Was able to glove it in the gap. Now 2 runners on, 2 outs. A 1-run lead for the Storm as Anthony Lim comes to the plate. 0 for 2 today. First pitch fastball up. Ball 1. Want to know the count. 2 runners on. Chase Henley and Latrell Harris. The 1-0 pitch to Lim. Slider down and in. 2-0 the count. As it looks like they're going to try and get Trujillo through the end of this inning. 3 runs across for the Storm. A third place team in the GSCBL battling back. The 2-0. Swung on and missed way out in front of that one was Lim. He struck out looking in his last at bat in a 2-2 count. His first time up, he ground out to Hermes in the first pitch he saw. So 2-1 count. 2 outs in the top of the sixth. Slight breeze pushing out towards right field. Lim works from the back end of the right-handed batter's box, waving his black Sam bat. The 2-1. Up and over the top of the overhang. Strike 2. Remember, tomorrow night is the San Francisco Giants blanket giveaway here at Geiger Stadium. Still time to get your tickets. Make sure to arrive early. Be a hot commodity here in Klamath Falls. It's a 2-2 count. 2 outs. 2 runners on. A 3-2 lead for South Bay. Fastball up. Ball 3 trying to get Lim to chase. He stays off. Trujillo takes a walk around the mound. Just watched 3 runs come across, 2 of them guys that we put on board the hit by pitch and a walk to start off the inning. Reed Osterman, Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh. The payoff pitch. Big chopper up to second base. Hermes will glove it. Go to first base in time for out number 3. But 3 runs come across for the Storm. It's a 3-2 lead for the visiting South Bay Storm as we go to the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Alvarado, Santiago, and Engman due up as the Gems trail South Bay.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you. The Klamath Falls Gems would like to send their thanks to Russ, Spires & Pooley, LLP, Avista, Herald and News, and Henry's Roofing and Supply for sponsoring the 2016 season. Thank you so much. Taco Bell is proud to support the Klamath Falls Gems. Don't forget to take advantage of the free taco coupon on the back of your Klamath Falls Gems ticket stub. Everyone who comes out to a Klamath Falls Gems game this year can receive a free taco at one of Taco Bell's 2 locations in Klamath Falls. Once again, we'd like to thank Taco Bell for all their support of the Klamath Falls Gems.
Alex Alvarado will lead things off for the Gems. The bottom of the 6th, 3 runs across for the Storm in the top half of the inning. First pitch swinging, strike 1. As Connor Taylor suddenly with the lead. Has been pitching well. A couple of jams, but he's limited the damage. Up into the air, foul on the right field side. Find its way into the parking lot. Strike 2 on Alvarado. Alvarado 0 for 1. Struck out to end the first inning. Then was hit by a pitch in the 4th that loaded the bases. Nelson Santiago on deck. Isaiah Engman in the hole. Ball 1. Tossed in by Connor Taylor. The Shadows have made their way to the left field wall. The 1-2 pitch. Up into the air, foul yet again on the first base side. Getting there late, but protecting is Alvarado. Still Sun in center field and right field. Second baseman Margiota still catching some rays. First baseman Fabian well in the shadows. The 1-2 pitch. A drive deep into the hole, and it'll be played up off the body of Gelfman. Rolling up off of him. Rolling all the way up his arm. He tried to backhand it. Rolls all the way up his arm. Off of his shoulder and into left field. So it's a leadoff single for Alvarado. Now 1 for 2 on the day. Now bring up Nelson Santiago. 0 for 2. Excuse me, he will be pinch hit for. His day is done. 0 for 2. They'll go to Hector Hernandez. Throw over to first base has Alvarado back in time, standing up. Hernandez hitting .261 on the year. Another throw over to first base has Alvarado back in, standing up. Alvarado has 4 stolen bases on the year, but has been caught 3 times as well. The Gems as a team have swiped 55 bags, been caught 22 times. First pitch to Hernandez, fastball inside. 1-0 the count. Another throw over to first base, and again Alvarado in, standing up. Alvarado arms dangling as he takes his lead at first base. And another throw over. And another throw over. We'll have Hernandez waiting at the plate. He's seen 1 pitch in this at bat. A long look between Taylor and Alvarado. Alvarado goes. The first pitch that doesn't get thrown over and sliding in safely. So all those throw-overs do absolutely nothing. A stolen base for Alex Alvarado. Connor Taylor throws over about 5 times. The second time he goes to the plate, a high fastball. Jason Marley drops it, and it's a stolen base for Alex Alvarado. his 5th of the year, 56th total for the Gems, and he's in scoring position. No outs. A bunt off of home plate and foul on the third base side. Marley gloves this one with ease. 2-1 the count. No outs in the bottom of the 6th. 3 runs coming across in the top half for South Bay. As Isaiah Engman will hand off the bat to Hernandez. Hernandez looking down to third base coach and head coach Alex Alvarado for the sign. To 2-1 count. Taylor looks out to second base. The back pick trying to be set up. And Gelfman will grab it, apply the tag, but not in time. Alvarado once again in safely. And for the first time out on the base paths, he has to dive back into the bag. Remains a 2-1 count for Hernandez. Bunt right back in front of the mound. A long run for Marley, and he will get there in time. Shows off the gun. As Hernandez, a guy with good speed, is beat on the throw from Marley's that went halfway up. And now a discussion between Dave Miller and Mike Keppel. Looks like Marley might have asked for batter interference, which would send Alvarado back to second base. Think he might be grasping at straws on that one, as Hernandez does have to go across the plate to get to first base from the right-handed batter's box, as it was softly hit, but Hernandez has to go to first base. We'll see what the umpires say. Alvarado will stay at third base. Marley's palms up talking to Dave Miller. He's expecting batter interference on that one. Continuing to talk behind home plate. A stupefied look on the face of the catcher, Marley. Miller puts his mask back on, saying he's ready to go, but Marley continues to argue. No appearance from either coach from the Storm, so they're not too concerned about this. 1 out, runner at third base, as Marley continues to talk with Dave Miller. Now, finally, he will put on his catcher's mask as Isaiah Engman is announced. A long conversation between Jason Marley and Dave Miller finally comes to an end. First pitch fastball up to Engman. Ball 1. 1-0 count. 1 out. Alex Alvarado at third base after he singled, swiped a bag, and advanced on the sacrifice bunt. A drive into left center field. A long run for Todd Fitzhugh, and he'll get there at the warning track, and tagging up easily is Alvarado, and that ties the game at 3. Isaiah Engman with his second sacrifice fly out to center field. This one driven much deeper. Gets the job done. Nonetheless, a 3-3 game as we go to the 9-hole hitter. Marzell Brown looking for his first hit. Nobody on the base paths now. And Jason Marley continues to talk to the home plate umpire, Dave Miller. He's upset, obviously, because that would have put Alvarado at third base now, but the call had been made, and it's a batter later as Brown rolls this one over to shortstop. Gelfman gloves it. Strong throw over to first base in time for out number 3. Alvarado swipes a bag, comes in on the sacrifice fly from Isaiah Engman. It's a 3-3 game through 6 innings. We go to the 7th. It'll be Vinny Margiotta, Reed Oster, and Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh due up.
Klamath Falls Baseball is brought to you with help from Rogue Credit Union. Rogue Credit Union is committed to actively engaging in the communities we serve. Rogue Credit Union, banking and finance since 1956. Living local, it's a Rogue thing. And Quail Park of Klamath Falls, a senior lifestyle community in Klamath Falls, their experienced and caring team of healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones like they would treat their own families. Thank you for supporting the Klamath Falls Gems.
Fans, if you own a business and would like your brand to be seen at Kiger Field, give the Gems a call at 541-883-4367 and tell them you would like to discuss the most unique and cost-effective marketing opportunity in the area. Call the Gems at 541-883-GEMS. It's a 3-3 game in the 7th inning here in Klamath Falls. I'm Nick Winstead. Vinny Margiotta will lead things off for the Storm. The leadoff hitter, 1 for 2 today, had line drive into center field, a ground out. He also walked in his first time up, a full count walk to start off the game. Jacob Trujillo still out on the mound for the Gems. First pitch swung on foul. Hard hit foul ball down the first base line. In between innings, Jason Marley stayed out onto the field and talked with Mike Keppel, the field umpire, not quite having had enough of discussion with Dave Miller. He went out and talked with Mike Keppel. He had to be brought off of the field by the coaching staff of the Storm. It's an 0-1 count for Margiotta. The pitch. Fastball up. 1-1 the count. And Jason Marley obviously feeling very strongly about whatever it was he was arguing. I'm assuming it was batter interference on that bunt from Hernandez. The 1-1. Big chopper. Long run for Hermes. He'll glove it and throw to first base in time for out number 1. A long run for Nick Hermes. He got there and just beating out the speed of Vinny Margiotta, for out number 1. Margiotta now 1 for 3 on the day. That'll bring up Reed Oster, who was hit by a pitch to start off that 3-run 6th inning for the Storm that saw them take the lead. The Gems were able to take 1 run in the bottom half and tie the game at 3. Jacob Trujillo, first pitch will be shot to Hermes. Gloves it down on one knee, fires over to Walker for out number 2. A much easier play for Hermes this time. Took about 2 steps over to his right. Dropped to one knee, gloved it. Strong throw to Walker. Out number 2. That'll bring up Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh, who walked in a full count and scored the second of 3 runs in the top of the 6th for South Bay. He digs in. Trujillo kicks and fires. Fastball, strike 1 at the knees. Just 2 spots of sunshine left on the field. In center field and in right, the 0-1. Missing up and away on Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh, the center fielder. 1 for 2 today and a run scored against Trujillo. Still in the game for the Gems. The 0-1. The 1-1 becomes 2-1. Trujillo shakes off a sign. The 2-1 pitch. Foul ball right towards the Gems dugout on the first base side. That fence protecting it. It's a 2-2 count after the foul ball. 2 quick outs, both to second baseman Hermes. Long run and an easier play. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball inside. 3-2 the count. Trying to jump out of the way of that one was Todd Fitzhugh. A full count, 2 outs. The payoff pitch. And that'll be fouled off by Todd Fitzhugh. He stays alive. The sun now on the rolling hills along the Klamath Basin. Field totally in shadows now. Quickly shadows move out. The payoff pitch. Fastball up, ball 4. That is now the 4th walk of the game for Jacob Trujillo. Runner on, 2 outs. Connor Fabian, the cleanup hitter, at the plate. 1 for 3 today. His first time up, he hit into a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. Ground ball up the middle in his second at bat, then struck out swinging for the first out in the 6th. Trujillo back onto the first base side of the rubber. Eyeing in at Wes Carswell. Doing the catching, the lefty Fabian, the lefty Trujillo. And the runner goes. And fastball up on Fabian. Ball 1. Todd Fitzhugh swipes the bag. The 65th successfully stolen bag on the year for the Storm. His 6th stolen bag has been caught once. He's in scoring position. The 1-0 will be ripped down the right field line. That'll drop in front of Engman. And a throw will go in and up to the plate and will get past Wes Carswell. Scoring from second base is Todd Fitzhugh on Connor Fabian's line drive down the right field line. Advancing on the throw is Fabian to second base as Todd Fitzhugh, that stolen base, coming through huge for the Storm. They retake the lead 4-3. In the top of the 7th, it'll be Zane Gelfman at the plate. He had the first of 2 RBI singles for the Storm. In the top of the 6th, he and Chase Henley, who was on deck, both able to bring in runs. Reed Oster and Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh respectively, as Coach Alvarado will head out to the mound, and that might spell the end of the appearance for Trujillo. Maybe 1 inning too long for Trujillo, although he did get 2 quick outs and then a walk and a pitch left up for Fabian. Alvarado talking with Trujillo and Carswell. Hermes took a quick step over from second base to discuss things, and they're going to leave Trujillo in the game. A 4-3 lead for the Storm. Zane Gelfman, the RBI leader for the Storm, now with 27 at the plate. Slight breeze out to center field, just barely push it. Trujillo set to the chest, goes to the plate. First pitch swung on a high pop-up on the right side. Engman takes over and will glove it for out number 3. So Trujillo does get out of the inning, but not before a run comes across for the Storm. It's a 4-3 lead as we go to the bottom half of the 7th. Due up for the Gems, it's the top third of the order. Sordal, Carswell, and Walker. Hey fans, how would you like to book a company or a family group outing at Kiger Stadium? It is a fun way to get everyone together, socialize, and have a great time. Contact the Gems at 541-883-4367 to book your group or to get more information. Get your group booked now by calling 541-883-GEMS.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you.
Steve Sordahl at the plate, leading off an inning for the fourth time today. Sees first pitch ball as Connor Taylor remaining in the game. A drive into center field, rushing back is Todd Fitzhugh. He's rushing back. It'll be over his head all the way to the warning track. Sordahl will be held up at second base. That one's cut off deep in center field by Gelfman, both middle infielders in center field, as that is the first hit of the day for Sordahl, and he gets it well over the head of his counterpart for the Storm, Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh. Saw it go right over his left shoulder as he was back to the plate. He knew he had to go full sprint for that one, and even with his speed, he wasn't able to get there. Very good hit by Sordahl to start off the inning. A stand-up double will bring up Wes Carswell, who's 1 for 3 today, a bunt for a hit, a flyout, and a strikeout. He hit a home run yesterday, his team-leading 6th home run. The first pitch as Sordahl goes, swung on and missed. Throw down will be well in time as Sordahl is gunned down by Jason Marley. As the Gems trying to be ultra aggressive, the hit and run, the runner at second base, a swing and a miss from Carswell leaves Sordahl open to being gunned down, and Reed Osser gets the ball well in time, waiting for Sordahl for out number 1 as he is caught stealing for the 7th time this year. Swung on and missed high fastball, strike 2 on Carswell. A 4-3 lead for the Storm as they have scored 4 runs in the last 2 frames. The 0-2, fastball high off the outside edge, trying to get Carswell to chase again. It's a 1-2 count, 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Third place Storm trying to hold on to this one. Fouled off of the face mask of Marley, and then looks like it might have taken a hit off of home plate umpire Dave Miller as well. Carswell loads up behind the right shoulder. A 1-2 count, 1 out. The pitch fouled off of Carswell. Looks like it just barely hit the handle of the bat and ends up tagging him on his front leg as he and Marley exchange smiles, knowing all too well that the kind of a beating a catcher takes, and then you got to take a little bit more at the plate. Marley, the 6-foot, 190-pound junior from Rogers State, calls Half Moon Bay, California home. It's a 1-2 count. The pitch swung on and missed. And down goes Carswell. Back-to-back swinging strikeouts for Wes Carswell. 5 strikeouts on the game now for Connor Taylor. He is 19 on the year after coming in with 14. He's almost up to 20. Out number 2, bring up Cam Walker. Walker 2 for 3 today with a pair of singles. Essentially a swinging bunt for a hit in his last at bat. Curveball misses outside in a lefty-lefty matchup. Ball 1. Rose-colored skies out in the distance as the sun is rapidly dropping. Called strike 1 on the outside edge. 1-1 the count. Almost the same pitch from Taylor, just this time he's able to connect with the zone. The 1-1, fastball inside. Walker pops that one up, a long run for Taylor, but he tracks it down in the gap for out number 3. The leadoff double from Sordahl. No problem for the Storm as they catch him stealing, trying to go to third. Carswell strikes out, and Walker flies out. It's a 4-3 lead for the Storm through 7. We go to the 8th inning. It'll be Chase Henley, Latrell Harris, and Jason Marley due up.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family-owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you. Klamath Falls Gems would like to send their thanks to Russ, Spires and Pooley, LLP, Avista, Herald and News, and Henry's Roofing and Supply for sponsoring the 2016 season. Thank you so much. Taco Bell is proud to support the Klamath Falls Gems. Don't forget to take advantage of the free taco coupon on the back of your Klamath Falls Gems ticket stub. Everyone who comes out to a Klamath Falls Gems game this year can receive a free taco at one of Taco Bell's 2 locations in Klamath Falls. Once again, we'd like to thank Taco Bell for all their support of the Klamath Falls Gems.
Jacob Trujillo's day on the mound is done. Daniel Goodell coming in from the bullpen. Trujillo finishes the game with 7 innings pitched, 7 hits, 4 runs, all of which earned, 4 walks to 4 strikeouts, and he is the pitcher of record. It's a 4-3 lead for South Bay over the Gems. Goodell making his 13th appearance from the bullpen, has thrown 20 2/3 innings, given up 30 hits, 27 runs, 25 of which are earned, 19 walks to 22 strikeouts. The righty fires first pitch, fastball low that runs underneath the glove of Carswell and all the way to the backstop on Chase Henley, who got his first hit in his last at bat, an RBI single underneath the glove of Cam Walker at first base. The 1-0. Driven up and out of play on the first base side. Strike 1. Goodell rocks and fires the 1-1. Breaking ball dropping in. Strike 2 on the big Chase Henley. Standing tall in the batter's box. The 6'2" righty. The 1-2 pitch from Goodell. Fastball runs away. 2-2 the count. Henley the DH today. We saw him play left field in what was a complex defensive switching inning in the 8th. High fly ball into the gap in right center field, and Sordahl makes the diving grab. A fantastic play. Times it up perfectly. A full extension dive, waiting till the last second to lay out, and he snags it out of the air, robbing the hit from Chase Henley. Outstanding play in center field by Sordahl for out number 1. And if you're Chase Henley, you can't hit the ball much better spot than that. It's a long run for both Engman and Sordahl. First pitch ball to Latrell Harris, and Sordahl just got a great jump on it and made a heck of a play for out number 1. Harris 0 for 2 today. He walked to load the bases in the 6th. The righty Goodell works from the first base side. Fastball over the top, strike 1. A black and brown Marucci bat for Harris. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch from Goodell. Bounced in on the outside half. 2-2 the count. And will be sent back out to him by Carswell. Daniel Goodell from right here in Klamath Falls, the Butte College Roadrunner. It's a 2-2 count to the 7-hole hitter Latrell Harris on deck. Jason Marley's. This one is up and out of play behind the grandstands into the parking lot behind Kiger Stadium. Goodell Eyeing in at Carswell, shakes off his sign, shakes off another sign, finds the one he wants, begins his windup. The pitch. Fastball misses low and off the outside half. A full count for Latrell Harris. Daniel Goodell coming in relief of Jacob Trujillo, getting the spot start. Going 7 innings, giving up 4 runs. It's a 4-3 lead. The 3-2. Up into the air, into left field. Brown drifting back, will square it up and glove it for out number 2. A much less dramatic fly out this time. Out number 2 is that will bring up the catcher, Jason Marley. Marley had a sacrifice fly in his last at-bat. In his first at-bat, he singled down the right field line and then advanced over to second base. And the first pitch from Goodell. Low and inside, ball 1. In the top of the 8th, the Storm lead the Gems by 1, and what has been a pitcher's duel is this one is rolled over to third base off the glove of Colin Sinkovich. And that will be an error on Sinkovich, allowing Marley aboard. As Sinkovich tried to cut it off more than getting his body in front of it, and that allowed it to get past him. And that'll bring up Anthony Lim. Lim was 4 for 4 yesterday. He's 0 for 3 today. A pair of groundouts and a strikeout looking as he's trying to get his bat back going. First pitch from Goodell. Fastball low, ball 1. 1-0 count. The breeze back blowing out towards right center field as Lim digs in. He works from the back end of the right-handed batter's box. Hunched almost towards the plate and dropping in strike 1 on the curveball is Goodell. And what I mean by that is his hips are back, but his front end is forward. His shoulders are up over top of where his hips would normally be. He's got that front leg crouched a little bit. That left leg, the right leg up straighter. An interesting batting stance. Called strike 2, fastball on the inside part of the plate, a 1-2 count. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. A 4-3 lead for South Bay. The Gems took game 1 7-5. Able to withstand a comeback attempt from the Storm in the top of the 9th. 3 runs in that inning. The 1-2 pitch. Runner goes. The throw will go out to second base, but not there in time to cover. Is Hermes. He grabs it on the run, but sliding in safely is Jason Marley. Now he's in scoring position on fastball up, trying to get Lim to chase. Ends up being a good pitch to throw, and Hermes just wasn't there in time as he was playing more traditional depth. A long run for him. Marley in scoring position. Goodell looks back at second base, goes to the plate. Fastball misses away. 3-2 the count. It's a full count. The payoff pitch. And fastball up, ball 4. Now 2 runners on. 2 outs. The first walk of the game for Daniel Goodell. We'll put up the leadoff hitter, Vinny Margiotta. Margiotta 1 for 3. The maple and tan bat whipped around the front hand. Margiotta hits from the right-handed batter's box, the left side of the plate. First pitch swung on well, fouls. He got way in front of that one and sends it high into the air and into the parking lot. Strike 1. Time will be called as Carswell will jog out to talk with Goodell. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. There were 2 outs in the top of the 7th. 2 quick outs. A pair of ground outs to Nick Hermes. Isa Todd Fitzhugh was walked. He stole a base and was brought in by Connor Fabian. Chase Henley and Latrell Harris both fly out. Chase Henley was robbed of a hit by an absolutely spectacular play in center field by Steve Sordahl. Jason Marley reached on an error. Anthony Lim walks in the full count. Now it's Vinny Margiotta down 0-1. Now 1-1 the count. 2 outs, a 4-3 lead for South Bay. 4 runs on 7 hits. The Gems 3 runs on 8 hits. Goodell sets, looks back at Marley with his lead. The 1-1. Big chopper up to second base. Hermes will glove it a high hop and an underhand throw to Alvarado. Nick Hermes needed every inch of that 6-3 frame as it took a huge hop nearly right over his head, but he sticks with it, flips to Alvarado, and that will be out number 3. The Storm strand a pair on the base paths. It is a 4-3 lead for the Storm as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the heart of the order due up for the Gems. Hermes, Sinkovich, and Alvarado due up when we return.
Klamath Falls Baseball is brought to you with help from Rogue Credit Union. Rogue Credit Union is committed to actively engaging in the communities we serve. Rogue Credit Union, banking and finance since 1956. Living local, it's a Rogue thing. And Quail Park of Klamath Falls, a senior lifestyle community in Klamath Falls, their experienced and caring team of healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones like they would treat their own families. Thank you for supporting the Klamath Falls Gems.
Fans, if you own a business and would like your brand to be seen at Kiger Field, give the Gems a call at 541-883-4367 and tell them you would like to discuss the most unique and cost-effective marketing opportunity in the area. Call the Gems at 541-883-GEMS. Nick Hermes, who made a fantastic play out at second base to leap high into the air and snow cone a high hop. It would have been over the head of most infielders, but at 6'3", he's got the frame for it. He leads off the inning, hitting from the right side. And the first pitch down low, ball 1. Hermes, 2 for 2 today, and it was hit by a pitch, so he's been aboard all 3 times up at the plate. Connor Taylor remaining in the game. A 4-3 lead for the Storm. Rip into center field. Todd Fitzhugh will track back and misplay it in center field. He'll fall down. It's rolling to the wall. He thought he had an easy play, and halfway there, he realized that ball wasn't going to drop. He has to backtrack. He leaps, and he can't make the play. Gets over his head. It's a leadoff double for Nick Hermes. Back-to-back innings for leadoff doubles for the Gems. Steve Sordahl was caught stealing after the Gems tried to be very aggressive on the base paths. And it looks like Coach Maldonado will head out to the mound to discuss things with Connor Taylor. And if you're Connor Taylor, that's a play that should have been made as Isaiah Todd Fitzhughes drops down into a squat out in center field. Probably the sickest guy out on the field right now, as he's dropped his glove and is just down in a squat looking up towards the sky and then back down in the ground. That's a tough break for the Storm, as that's a very makeable play, but Hermes put the ball in play. Then it's exactly what you want to do, make the defense make a play. Colin Sinkovich is at the plate. It looks like there will be a switch. A pinch runner will be coming into the game. It looks like Zach Lewandowski will take over. Nick Hermes is Day will be done. Lewandowski, the speedster, coming out of the bullpen, jogging out. Lewandowski, with 6 stolen bases on the year, has not been caught once. Elite speed. He's made some fantastic plays. Out in the outfield using his speed, and he's stretched several singles into doubles. He has 2 triples on the year, 1 short of a Gems record. He's tied now for the record. As Lewandowski enters the game, Colin Sinkovich coming up to hit. 1 for 2 today, as well as a sacrifice fly. Lewandowski into the game, Zane Gelfand right behind him. Showing bunt, laying it up to the pitcher and going over to first base as Lewandowski was breaking towards third base as soon as Sinkovich squared up. So a successful sacrifice bunt by Colin Sinkovich. Right back to the mound. Margiotta covering as Fabian came in as well. Out number 1 as Alex Alvarado comes to the plate. He is 1 for 2 today. And with that, Maldonado will go to the mound. It looks like, from what Maldonado was telling the home plate umpire, Dave Miller, Connor Taylor will stay in the game. When we return, we'll have the information on the new guy out on the mound and the defensive switches. It's a 4-3 lead for South Bay, but Zach Lewandowski at third base, Alex Alvarado at the plate. Hey fans, how would you like to book a company or a family group outing at Kiger Stadium? It is a fun way to get everyone together, socialize, and have a great time. Contact the Gems at 541-883-4367 to book your group or to get more information. Get your group booked now by calling 541-883-GEMS.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center, from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center, from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you. The Klamath Falls Gems would like to send their thanks to Russ, Spires and Pooley, LLP, Avista, Herald and News, and Henry's Roofing and Supply for sponsoring the 2016 season. Thank you so much. Taco Bell is proud to support the Klamath Falls Gems. Don't forget to take advantage of the free taco coupon on the back of your Klamath Falls Gems ticket stub. Everyone who comes out to a Klamath Falls Gems game this year can receive a free taco at one of Taco Bell's 2 locations in Klamath Falls. Once again, we'd like to thank Taco Bell for all their support of the Klamath Falls Gems.
Connor Fabian goes from first base to the mound, making his second appearance on the mound. Has thrown 1 inning, giving up no hits, no runs. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Alvarado at the plate. Lewandowski at the plate. Or excuse me, at third base, rather. First pitch, fastball low. Off the outside edge. Ball 1. Chase Henley Goes from the designated hitter spot to first base. Called strike one. Fastball pumped in by Fabing. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The infield is in. Trying to cut off anything. Get an out. The 1-1. Fastball off the outside edge. 2-1 the count. The lights are on here at Kiger Stadium, illuminating the field as Klamath Falls drifts into darkness. It's a 2-1 count. Alvarado at the plate. The pitch fouled off. 2-2 the count as it takes a carom off of the first base side of the backstop. Back out onto the field. Henley picks it up. Tosses it back to the catcher. Marley. It's a 2-2 count now for Alvarado. 1 for 2 today. Scored the 3rd run of the game for the Gems that tied up in the 6th. The 2-2 pitch will be laced down to the third baseman. Oster gets it on the backhand. Will go to the plate, and tagging out Lewandowski is Marley. The fielder's choice gets Lewandowski at the plate. A great play made by Oster as he had to rear back and play it on the backhand. Sends a missile down to Marley, and Marley was waiting for Lewandowski as Alvarado reaches on the fielder's choice. A great play made by the Storm to keep themselves on top by 1. Hector Hernandez comes to the plate. 2 outs, a runner at first base in Alex Alvarado. A 4-3 lead for the Storm. Connor Fabing out on the mound as Taylor's day is over, and this one will be shot into right field on a low chopper. Gunned in by Harris. Alvarado moves into scoring position. Hernandez has his first hit of the day. We'll bring up Isaiah Engman as Jason Marley heads out to the mound. Give a new ball out to Fabing and discuss strategy against Engman. Engman 0 for 1 today with 2 sacrifice flies out to center field. The last one was well hit out to the Holiday Jewelry sign, 385 feet. That sign out in left center field. 2 runners on, 2 outs, a 4-3 lead. The first pitch fastball away, ball 1. Nick Hermes doubled to start off the inning. Lewandowski came into pinch run. He was gunned out at the plate on the Alvarado fielder's choice. Ball 2, another miss off the outside edge. 2-0 the count. Connor Fabing came in from first place to take over for Taylor, who finishes his day. 7+ innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 runs, which were earned, and 5 strikeouts. And ball low and off the outside edge yet again. 3-0 the count, as the Storm might be keeping the ball away from Engman as he's barreled up 3 balls today to try and get to Marzell Brown, but it could just be that it's a position player pitching as well. The 3-0 will miss outside. Ball 4, and that might be a non-intentional intentional walk to load the bases. Alvarado at third. Hernandez at second. Engman at first. All guys with good speed. Marzell Brown up to the plate. 0 for 3 today. Hitting in the 9-hole. An excellent opportunity for the Gems to tie the game, possibly take the lead. Brown, his black and green batting gloves, white taped wrists, digs into the right-handed batter's box. Fabing sets just above the belt. The first pitch, fastball called strike 1. Taking strike 1, Marzell Brown, the left fielder, has grounded out twice, flown out. Gems with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, a 4-3 lead for South Bay. The pitch called strike 2, and the bat not lifted up off the shoulder of Marzell Brown. 2 taken strikes as Isaiah Engman looks more and more like he was intentionally walked, as pitches to him were not close, and now pounding the zone is Connor Fabing. It's an 0-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Brown trying to put the ball in play. The pitch will run away from the catcher Marley. Streaking in towards the plate is Alvarado. He's in safely. And Fabian misses for the first time in the at-bat. And it's a tie game, 4-4. Alvarado scores. Everybody advances. A 1-2 count. As Vinny Margiotta comes over and gives a quick word of encouragement to Fabian. Hector Hernandez at third. Isaiah Engman at second base. A 4-4 game, a 1-2 count to Marzell Brown. Loads up behind the right shoulder. Fabian works from the first base side. The 1-2 pitch. Soft chopped. Foul. The third base side as Marzell Brown stays alive. A 1-2 count to Brown. The tying run came across on a wild pitch. Alvarado, who reached on a fielder's choice, where Zach Lewandowski was gunned down at the plate, trying to break in from third with the infield in, trying to use his elite speed, but not enough. It's a 4-4 game. South Bay and Klamath Falls in the bottom of the eighth. 2 runners in scoring position for Brown, looking for his first hit on the day. It's a 1-2 count. Connor Fabian on the mound, took over for Connor Taylor. And fastball just missing off the outside edge. A brave take from Marzell Brown. 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch. Down low, ball 3. A breaking ball. Missing off the outside edge. A full count now as Brown, who is down 0-2 after 2 pitches, watched one run off the glove of Marley on the outside edge to bring in the tying run. Has battled to make it a full count. Fabian sets above the belt, the payoff pitch. Ball 4, and Marzell Brown is aboard. An emphatic throw of the bat towards the dugout for the Gems as they walked Isaiah Engman to get to Marzell, and Marzell draws the walk after a wild pitch, got past Marley, and tied the game 4-4. The bases loaded for Sordal, who doubled in his last at-bat, his first hit of the day before being caught stealing. 4-4 game. First pitch, fastball bounced in to Marley as he comes up out of the squat to glove that one between his legs. Looks out at third base where Hector Hernandez stands. Isaiah Engman at second, Marzell Brown at first. All 3 guys with very good speed. Along with Sordal, the man at the plate, the 1-0. Ripped foul on the first base side. 1-1 the count. Nick Hermes led off the inning with a double misplayed by Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh. He couldn't read the line drive off the bat, and it just kept carrying right over his head. Sacrifice bunt from Colin Sinkovich, a fielder's choice from Alvarado. A single from Hector Hernandez. The 1-1 pitch. Called strike 2, a fastball on the outside edge. Isaiah Engman was walked, a lot of misses that weren't close, a walk that won't go down as an intentional, but is very clearly so. The 1-2 pitch, bounced in, another nice block by Marley as he goes down to one knee over to his right to keep that one from going to the backstop. 2-2 count now, 2 outs. Bases loaded, a 4-4 game. Marzell Brown, who is down 0-2 in the count, watched a wild pitch get away from Marley to the backstop, which tied the game. Alvarado came in from third. The 2-2 pitch, ball 3. Fastball off the outside edge. And now Connor Fabian, 1 pitch away from giving the Gems the lead. The payoff pitch to Sordal. Fouled off. Rocketed towards the Gems dugout. Remains 3-2. The runners all moving. Nobody covering a bag for the Storm, trying to stay back and keep everything in front of them. Center fielder Todd Fitzhugh playing straight up in center field. Anthony Lim playing more towards left center field. Latrell Harris more towards the line and right. The 3-2. Ball right down the middle, and Sordal gets rung up. Strike 3 looking. The Gems leave the bases loaded. 1 run comes across, but stranding 3 are the Gems. They've now left 9 base runners aboard. It is a 4-4 game as we go to the 9th. Connor Fabian comes in, lets the game get tied, but he doesn't give up the lead. A strikeout looking of the leadoff hitter, Steve Sordal, keeps it 4-4. Brian Hathaway into the game for the Gems in the top of the 9th when we come back.
Klamath Falls Baseball is brought to you with help from Rogue Credit Union. Rogue Credit Union is committed to actively engaging in the communities we serve. Rogue Credit Union, banking and finance since 1956. Living local, it's a Rogue thing. And Quail Park of Klamath Falls, a senior lifestyle community in Klamath Falls. Their experienced and caring team of healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones like they would treat their own families. Thank you for supporting the Klamath Falls Gems.
Fans, if you own a business and would like your brand to be seen at Kiger Field, give the Gems a call at 541-883-4367 and tell them you would like to discuss the most unique and cost-effective marketing opportunity in the area. Call the Gems at 541-883-GEMS. Reed Oster will lead things off in the top of the 9th. As Daniel Goodell, his day is done. He goes 1 inning. Gives up no hits, no runs. Walks a guy, no strikeouts. Brian Hathaway comes into the game as Reed Oster stepped into the box, but then tightened up his batting gloves. Has to step out. Brian Hathaway making his 15th appearance on the year. He's thrown 20 2/3 innings. Was out on the mound yesterday, the sidearmer. Called strike 1 on the lefty. Oster working on that outside edge. Hathaway's given up 35 hits, 21 runs, 16 of which are earned, 9 walks, 20 strikeouts. Swung on and tipped into the glove of Carswell. Strike 2. Big guy, 6'5", Hathaway, leaning in towards Carswell. You can also go over the top and up 0-2 after 2 sidearm pitches. We'll see if he does go over the top, and he will. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Down goes Reed Oster, the high fastball. As James Mensing now in to catch. Wes Carswell jumps out to second base, taking over for Nick Hermes. Three pitch, see you later for Reed Oster. It brings up Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh. Ball 1. On the right-handed hitting Fitzhugh is Fitzhugh was out in center field and felt like probably the sickest man on the field after he couldn't get a solid read on that line drive double from Nick Hermes. Strike 1. The knees. 1-1 the count. 1 out. A 4-4 game as the Gems leave the bases loaded. They've now stranded 9 Only got one in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-1 pitch. Strike two. Blowing it by Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh. He doesn't even get the bat off the shoulder. He takes a look at his bat and digs back in. He's down 1-2. 1 out in the top of the 9th. A 4-4 game. Sidearm delivery. Strike three looking. And Todd Fitzhugh gets rung up. He's strolling back to the dugout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brian Hathaway. A dejected walk back for Todd Fitzhugh. It'll bring up Connor Fabing. Fabing singled into right field to bring in the 4th run of the game for the Storm. Able to score Todd Fitzhugh from second base. Strike one called on Fabing. An 0-1 count as Brian Hathaway has looked very sharp, trying to give the Gems a chance in the bottom of the 9th. The 0-1 over the top, fouled off into the net, and that's the first time a Storm hitter has been able to make contact with that over the top fastball, and he sends it foul late on that one. It's an 0-2 count. 2 outs, 4-4 game in the top of the 9th. Hathaway sets and goes over the top. Will be a little blooper over to shortstop. Alvarado plays on one hop, a long throw, and off the bag is Walker. An infield hit for Connor Fabing. Now 3 for 5 today with an RBI. And the go-ahead run is aboard for the Storm. Zane Gelfman, the RBI leader for South Bay at the plate. He is a 1 for 4 today with an RBI single and a run scored in that 3-run 6th for the Storm. They jumped ahead 3-2 against the starter Jacob Trujillo. First pitch over the top fastball, ball 1, low and off the outside edge. 1-0 the count. 2 outs after 2 strikeouts. Connor Fabing is able to get an infield single on an 0-2 count. Softly hit to Alvarado's throw, force off Cam Walker off the bag. Sidearm strike 1, but Fabing had beat it out. Fabing with his lead at first base. It's a 1-1 count, 2 outs. To the top of the 9th. The pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. Way out in front of it is Gelfman. Gelfman takes a deep breath, adjusts his batting helmet before digging back in. Hathaway waiting patiently out on the mound. He works from the third base side of the rubber. Sends that ball right in on righties. The 1-2 on its way up into the air, and that will be in front of Sordahl. It'll drop, and having to wait on it was Fabing, so he's at second base. Not really sure why he was waiting on that one. With 2 outs, he should be at third base. And I'll bring up Chase Henley. Chase 1 for 4 today, an RBI single. Connor Fabing at second base. Zane Gelfman at first, back-to-back singles after back-to-back strikeouts for Hathaway. Facing up against the 6-hole hitter. First pitch away, ball 1. It was Henley who had a hit robbed from him by Steve Sordahl in the right center field gap. A full extension dive. Needing every bit of that dive to be able to glove that one. Leading off the top of the 8th, Hathaway goes to the plate. Again, way outside. 2-0 the count. A 2-0 count to the 6-hole hitting Chase Henley. Started the day as the DH, now playing first base. Fastball away. 3-0 the count. After striking out the first 2 hitters of the inning. Back-to-back singles, 2 runners on, 2 outs. And now a 3-0 count to Henley. Henley waving the bat out in front of the plate. Now watches Hathaway steps off. He digs back on On the mound, Henley waiting patiently in the box. White batting gloves, black bat. The pitch. Fastball low, ball 4, and that will load the bases. The first walk of the inning for Hathaway. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Latrell Harris. A big opportunity for the Storm to retake the lead. They took the lead in the 6th, 3-2. Then the Gems were able to tie it. They took a 4-3 lead in the 7th. The Gems able to plate a run in the 8th. First pitch low and inside, ball 1. All tied at 4, but the Storm being given a great opportunity to retake the lead. Bases loaded, 2 outs, a 1-0 count to Harris. The pitch, strike. Taking all the way was Harris. He didn't bring that bat up off of his right shoulder, forcing Hathaway to throw a strike after he had missed 5 straight times after giving up the single to Gelfman. The 1-1 swung on, fouled to the backstop, strike 2. Now Hathaway 1 strike away from getting out of the inning, keeping it a tie game, 4-4. The Gems were able to weather a 9th inning push last night. They were ahead 7-2. The Storm plated 3 runs in the top of the 9th against Ben Tennell. They were able to get 5 hits. They sent 9 guys to the plate. It was Dylan Yamasaki who was eventually out number 3 to end the game and give the Gems the victory, their first win at home since the 4th of July. Trying for back-to-back wins here at Kiger. Hathaway sets the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, strike 3 looking. And Latrell Harris gets rung up. He swung 1 time in that at-bat. He left the bases loaded for the Storm. Both teams come up empty in bases-loaded opportunities. And we are going to the bottom of the 9th. A 4-4 tie. It'll be Carswell, Walker, and Lewandowski due up when we return.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you. The Klamath Falls Gems would like to send their thanks to Russ, Spires and Pooley, LLP, Avista, Herald and News, and Henry's Roofing and Supply for sponsoring the 2016 season. Thank you so much. Taco Bell is proud to support the Klamath Falls Gems. Don't forget to take advantage of the free taco coupon on the back of your Klamath Falls Gems ticket stub. Everyone who comes out to a Klamath Falls Gems game this year can receive a free taco at one of Taco Bell's 2 locations in Klamath Falls. Once again, we'd like to thank Taco Bell for all their support of the Klamath Falls Gems.
Four to 4 game between South Bay and Klamath Falls in the bottom of the 9th. Connor Fabian goes back to first base as it will be Michael Valdez into the game, the lefty from Skyline College, a sophomore coming into the game. Valdez making his 11th appearance. He started a pair of games, has thrown 19 2/3 innings, given up 29 hits, 24 runs, 20 of which are earned, 18 walks to 17 strikeouts. A 1-1 record on the year and a 9.15 ERA. A hard throwing lefty will be facing up against the 2-3-4 hitters for the Gems. Steve Sordahl caught looking with the bases loaded. Latrell Harris caught looking with the bases loaded. First pitch to Carswell, fastball up. Ball one. A 4-4 game. A back and forth affair. Gems on top first. The Storm take the lead. Then the Gems tie it up. Strike one called. A fastball from the hard throwing lefty. Wind starting to blow out just slightly towards center field. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball up just a bit. 2-1 the count on Carswell. Now out at second base. Started the game catching. James Mensing came in. Now a 3-1 count after another miss from Valdez. The 5'10", 175-pound sophomore from Burlingame, California, into the game. A 4-4 tie. The 3-1. Fastball up, a leadoff walk to Wes Carswell in the bottom of the ninth. A hard-throwing lefty, but control seemed to be an issue, at least in that at-bat. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup now between Valdez and Cam Walker. Walker 2 for 4. A line drive and a swinging bunt single. A strikeout and a flyout to go with those two as well. Went 3 for 4 yesterday, 2 for 4 today. Carswell with good speed. It's double play depth up the middle for the Storm. He shows bunt, pulls back, and it'll run off him to the backstop. It'll get underneath the backstop. And that was nearly right at Cam Walker. He has to drop out of the way as that one gets underneath. So Cam Walker sort of accomplishing his goal there. He's got Wes Carswell now into scoring position, although he's had to do it by dropping out of the way. I'm sure he would have liked to have done it a way that doesn't have a fastball flung at his face. Not that it was intentional by any means. The pitch that got away from Valdez and worked its way underneath the backstop as Jason Marley instantly raised his hands up like, that one's gone. Can't do anything about that. And a discussion on the infield between all the infielders and Michael Valdez. It's a 1-0 count to Cam Walker. Wes Carswell in scoring position. Double play off the table. At least not a traditional one. It's a 1-0 count. No outs. Bottom of the ninth. A 4-4 game. The lefty Valdez sets at the chest. And Zane Gelfman was dashing towards third base to cover for Reed Oster in case Cam Walker was going to lay down a bunt down the third baseline. That Valdez looks back to second base and there's nobody there. It's a 1-0 count. A 4-4 game. The Storm left the bases loaded in the top of the ninth as Brian Hathaway struck out this side, but with some drama involved. The 1-0 and called strike as Walker had squared up to bunt, tried to pull back, but it's a called strike on the outside edge. A 1-1 the count. As now Oster will have to be ready and Gelfman to cover. Walker crouched down in the left-handed batter's box. The 1-1 pitch, he squares up to bunt, pulls back, ball two. Fastball high and inside. As Valdez will retrieve that at the front of the mound and gloves it to 2-1 count. Carswell at second base after he walked and advanced on a ball that was just a high fastball, a wild pitch that ends up working its way into underneath the 2-1. Ball three, once again squaring up to bunt, pulling back and missing his spot is Michael Valdez. Now a 3-1 count. We'll see if this at bat changes dynamics. You got to put it in the strike zone for Cam Walker. (3-1) and bunted up in front of the mound, and Marley will fire to first base in time. He played it off a hop that almost went right back into his body. A great play by Marley. Now calls time as James Mensing is due up. Cam Walker gets his job done twice over. On the first pitch he saw, tried to square up and move Carswell just to second base, but it ends up going out of play and a free base for Carswell, and then he sacrifices him over to third base, 90 feet away, 1 out. A tie game. Carswell, the go-ahead run at third base, the winning run. James Mensing at the plate. The conference on the mound finally over. 1 out in the bottom of the ninth. The runner at third base. Mensing at the plate. Sinkovich on deck. Alvarado in the hole. Mensing came in defensively in the top half of the inning, taking over for Zach Lewandowski's spot as he pinch run for Hermes. And now the Storm will make a defensive switch. Dylan Yamasaki will enter the game defensively after that conference on the mound. Latrell Harris will exit the game. Yamasaki moves into right field. Yamasaki played left and center field, so now he's made his way across the diamond in these 2 games of the series, playing every outfield position. Infield brought way in. Essentially, if it gets through the infield, they want to have a chance to play at the plate. And now James Mensing will be intentionally walked to try and set up a double play. Two and 0 the count as Nick Hermes shouts from the dugout, "Step into one." A funny guy, Nick Hermes, as it's obviously not going to be anywhere close. But Mensing, to his credit, is ready to roll in case one gets away. And you talk to pitchers, and sometimes the hardest pitch is actually the intentional walk pitch. As Zane Gelfman's not even looking, he was talking with the field umpire, Mike Keppel. So that's an intentional walk to put runners on the corners, 1 out. And that'll bring up Colin Sinkovich. 1 out. Runners on the corners set up for a double play now. Or the Storm try and get out of the inning, go into extras, tied at 4. Wes Carswell, the winning run at third base. James Mensing at first. And it looks like they're going to intentionally walk Colin Sinkovich as well. Back-to-back intentional walks to get the bases loaded and get the play at the plate. And Alex Alvarado up if this intentional walk is successfully completed. And it's a 3-0 count on the intentional walk, and back-to-back successful intentional walks will load the bases, so the ball will go to the plate now. And the strategy being put together by Ralph Maldonado. Alex Alvarado at the plate. Alvarado 1 for 3 today. A pair of runs scored as he reached on a fielder's choice in the 8th and ended up scoring the top. Bases loaded, 1 out, a 4-4 game. The Klamath Falls Gems, the South Bay Storm, A 4-4 game, the bottom of the ninth. Second time in as many innings, the Gems have had the bases loaded. First pitch, fastball up, ball one. And for Valdez, that wasn't as great of a miss as he's had previously, as we've seen a little bit of wildness from him, but after intentionally missing 8 times, that was a pretty good first pitch. The 1-0, down low, 2-0 the count. And now Jason Marley will go and talk to Valdez. Try and prop up his pitcher. Bases loaded, intentionally walking 2 guys to have a force play at the plate, but 2 misses from Valdez might have that strategy backfire for the Storm if he walks in the run. It's a 2-0 count, 1 out. Infielders way in. Infielders in on the grass. Carswell at third base with good speed. The 2-0. Fouled up into the net. Strike 1. 2-1 the count. Alex Alvarado leads the team in batting average. Had the bases intentionally loaded for him. The 2-1 will be shot foul down the third base line. Strike 2, just missing the game-winning hit was Alex Alvarado. Now 1 strike away from getting to Hector Hernandez is Michael Valdez, who fell down 2-0 in the count. Now 2-2, bases loaded, a 4-4 game, 1 out. The bottom of the ninth, the Gems trying to walk off. The 2-2 pitch, up into the air, into right field. Yamasaki's got it in right center field. He's got it. Carswell breaking for the plate. It'll be nowhere near the plate, and the Gems win. Alex Alvarado, the sacrifice fly. It's a walk-off win for Klamath Falls. They load the bases, and Alex Alvarado makes them pay. The throw from Yamasaki nowhere near home plate. And the Gems take a 5-4 victory, back-to-back wins over South Bay, and 2 dramatic ninth innings. The Storm left the bases loaded in the top half of the ninth. Latrell Harris struck out looking as Brian Hathaway picks up the win. A 5-4 victory. Alex Alvarado, the sacrifice fly to bring Wes Carswell in from third base. When we return, we'll recap the thrilling victory, 5-4 Gems over the Storm.
Klamath Falls Baseball is brought to you with help from Rogue Credit Union. Rogue Credit Union is committed to actively engaging in the communities we serve. Rogue Credit Union, banking and finance since 1956. Living local, it's a Rogue thing. And Quail Park of Klamath Falls, a senior lifestyle community in Klamath Falls, their experienced and caring team of healthcare professionals will treat you and your loved ones like they would treat their own families. Thank you for supporting the Klamath Falls Gems.
Fans, if you own a business and would like your brand to be seen at Kiger Field, give the Gems a call at 541-883-4367 and tell them you would like to discuss the most unique and cost-effective marketing opportunity in the area. Call the Gems at 541-883-GEMS. Hey fans, how would you like to book a company or a family group outing at Kiger Stadium? It is a fun way to get everyone together, socialize, and have a great time. Contact the Gems at 541-883-4367 to book your group or to get more information. Get your group booked now by calling 541-883-GEMS.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Holiday Jewelry, family-owned since 1975, setting the standard for quality and service in Klamath Falls community since the beginning. And Klamath Eye Center, your complete eye care center from comprehensive eye exams to surgery and even our optical dispensary. Without these sponsors, nothing is possible. Thank you.
Welcome to the Klamath Falls Gems post-game show, presented by Avista, Harbor Isle Tennis and Fitness Club, Henry's Roofing and Supply, Herald and News, Holiday Jewelry, Klamath Eye Center, the Oregon State Lottery, Quail Park of Klamath Falls, Rogue Credit Union, Rust Spires and Pulley LLP, Taco Bell, Super 8, and United Finance. Here's your host, Nick Winstead.
Hello and welcome to the press box at Kiger Stadium. I'm Nick Winstead. The Gems walk off a 5-4 victory over top of the South Bay Storm. They've now taken the first two games of the 6-game series, and both games have had ninth inning drama. Last night it was a 3-run inning for the Storm trying to work their way back. They ended up falling 7-5, and tonight the Gems come back. In this one, they tied up in the bottom of the 8th, take the victory in the bottom of the 9th. Let's go back to the start of this one. The Storm had Connor Taylor out on the mound. He ends up having Wes Carswell bunt for a hit, back-to-back singles, and a sacrifice fly. Bring him in. Colin Sinkovich getting the RBI. Makes it a 1-0 lead for the Gems. One of the fastest second innings in recent history. 4 pitches dispatch of the Gems, and only about 7 pitches get through the Storm for the whole inning. In that second inning, and that was pretty much the story. This one, very fast game up until the late inning dramatics. And the 4th inning, the Gems were able to plate one more as Nick Hermes had a bloop single in the right field line. Colin Sinkovich laces a ground ball up the middle. Alex Alvarado hit by a pitch. Isaiah Engman with a sacrifice fly to make it a 2-0 game. But in the 6th, it was the Storm offense that got rolling. Reed Oster was hit by a pitch as Jacob Trujillo, the starter for the Gems, getting a spot start. Had a little bit of trouble in that inning. Hits Reed Oster in a full count. Walks Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh in a full count. And then Zane Gelfman, one batter later, 1 out. Laces an RBI line drive into left field. Chase Henley sneaks a bouncing grounder underneath the glove of first baseman Cam Walker to make it a 2-2 game. Jason Marley was able to bring in the 3rd run of that inning. He brought Zane Gelfman in on a sacrifice fly, and the Storm took the first lead of the game. The Gems were able to knot it up. In the bottom half of the inning, however, as Alex Alvarado reached on an infield single, Hector Hernandez had a sacrifice bunt, a bunt of great contention for the catcher Jason Marley, as he argued about it with Dave Miller at length before the next batter, Isaiah Engman, was announced. And that bunt moved Alvarado from 2nd to 3rd, just 90 feet from home. And Isaiah Engman, in back-to-back at-bats, hits a sacrifice fly to center field. That makes it a 3-3 game. After 6, the Storm able to plate a run in the top half of the 7th. Once again, it's Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh scoring a run. He plated 2 runs in this game after 2 groundouts. Fitzhugh is walked. Connor Fabing sends a line drive down the right field line that scores Fitzhugh from second after he stole a bag. And it's a 4-3 lead for the Storm. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Bases loaded for the Gems. And coming in on the wild pitch is Alex Alvarado to tie the game at 4. In the top of the 9th, Brian Hathaway came in to try and keep it a tie game for Klamath Falls. He struck out Reed Oster swinging. Isaiah Todd Fitzhugh looking. Connor Fabing got aboard with a bounding single past Sinkovich at third base. Zane Gelfman blooped one in to right center field, and Chase Henley was walked on 4 pitches to load the bases. Latrell Harris comes to the plate and strikes out looking, leaving the bases juiced. 11 runners left on base for the Storm. We go to the bottom half of the ninth. Wes Carswell draws a leadoff walk against Michael Valdez. Cam Walker sacrifices Carswell from second to third after a wild pitch got stuck underneath the backstop and giving a free pass to second base for Carswell. Sinkovich is intentionally walked after Mensing was intentionally walked. Back-to-back intentional walks to load the bases. Try and get a force play at home. Alex Alvarado at the plate. A 2-2 count. He lifts a ball high into the air where Dylan Yamasaki was in right field taking over for Harris. He gloves it. Sends a throw into the infield, but it misses everybody. Wes Carswell scores with ease from third after tagging up, and the Gems take a 5-4 victory. Back-to-back wins over the third-place Storm. The Storm fall to 19-18 on the year. The Gems move to 15-23. The Bighorns and the Aviators both paying very close attention as they are within striking distance. The Gems also with an outside shot at the playoffs, but the Storm not being able to take care of business. Trying to work their way down the stretch of running to a Gems team more than willing to play spoiler. Brian Hathaway picks up the win after striking out the side in the ninth. Michael Valdez picks up the loss. Valdez now moves to 1-2 on the year. Hathaway gets his first victory. He's now 1-2 as well. The Gems able to take this one and walk off fashion, 5-4 over the Storm. Tomorrow, first pitch, 6:35 p.m. If you're in the Klamath Falls area, make sure to get your tickets and get here early. Giants blankets being given away. The first 200 lucky fans get a Giants branded blanket. Thanks so much for sticking tuned for this thriller. The Gems take game 2, 5-4 in the bottom of the ninth. See you tomorrow.